Welcome to Phil Wilson Chats with Celebrities. And here's your host, Phil Wilson.
Brit Award winner, MTV US nominee, and winner of the RSH Gold Award, Tasmin Archer hit heights with the forever popular hit single Sleeping Satellite, followed up with memorable favourites such as In Your Care, which is a beautiful song, Lords of the New Church, Ariane, Shipbuilding, and One More Good Night with the Boys. June 2025 saw the release of Vibration of Life and the first of three singles planned from the album A Cauldron of Random Notes, which will be released in September 2025. And the fabulous Tasmin Archer joined us now to tell us about her glittering career so far. Welcome to the show, Tasmin.
Hello, thanks for having me.
No problem at all. No problem at all. It's just great to catch up with you because obviously, you know, we've all been fans of your music and we've bought all of your music and all that. So it's great to speak to the lady behind the music as well, because you've had a very lengthy career and lots of things going on. So we're going to be picking up on your brand new project as well a little bit later on.
Yeah.
Now, you were born in Bradford in 1963. What was life like for you when growing up, Tasmin?
I attended infant school in Bradford, and just off Leeds Road in Bradford. Those people from Bradford will know where I mean. A little infant school, and that's very vivid for me because the first day I went to school, I remember feeling really sort of nervous but excited at the same time, as you are when you're just a child. And I remember being in the playground and smelling the dinners, the school dinners.
Oh, yes.
And think
I love
how
that.
strong that smell is. And it always stays with you, doesn't it?
It does.
It's whatever food that you liked. Mine was like jam roly-poly or something like that.
Oh, yes, you've got to have that. And I like the treacle sponge, and also you could smell the mashed potato as well, couldn't you?
You could smell them, yeah. And so I went to school in Bradford, and then went to St George's School in Bradford when I got older, to junior, and then I transferred to Grange High School because we were moving from Bradford, from Leeds Road onto Canterbury Estate,
Right.
and so it was quite sort of a wrenching feeling for me because I had made friends, and you know what you're like when you're younger. You've got friends and you don't want to leave them, and you become very attached to what you know, and you're familiar with that. So it took me a time to adjust to that. And I was the only one that went to another school because my brother, that's 1 year older than me, and my sister and my other brother, they were older and they were just in their last years really at the St George's School. So
Right.
they stayed there and finished their education there. So I was the only one that transferred into another school. So it was compounded with that. I had to deal with going to another school as well. I made friends, obviously, and
Yeah.
or maybe not obviously, but I made friends, and yeah, and I always loved singing and things like that ever since I was really young, because my family are music lovers and they like to listen to a lot of different styles of music. And so I got a lot of the music was handed down to me when I was quite young because I'm the youngest of all four. And so I had like punk rock, I had funk and soul
Wow.
and rock, classical and reggae and everything that you could name under the sun. And so I always loved listening to music, and I always loved sort of singing to myself. When I had my own bedroom, I'd just go there and just practice and practice and practice. And I used to listen to a really old fashioned sort of, well, not old fashioned, but back in the 50s, this lady was probably quite well known, George Stafford.
Oh,
Very
yes,
sort of,
yes.
within her day, she will have been perhaps a pop singer of that time.
Yeah.
You know, because it was all a lot of the musicals and things like that, films that I used to watch on TV. So I used to listen to all the music that was on those programs, which were the orchestration was, full of strings and arrangements, and they're beautiful, and all the singing was wonderful, and it was quite magical for me to escape into that world. And I used to listen to Radio Luxembourg on a night on my own little tiny radio, transistor
Wow.
radio. So I used to hear a lot of music from different places, really. And so I always liked music. It didn't matter really what the style or genre was, as long as it to me had something interesting or something that sounded wonderful. And so I used to sing in my bedroom most of the time, very quietly, and nobody really heard me singing because even at school I used to be quite shy,
Right.
and perhaps not volunteering to be in a musical when they used to come round and ask you, and things like that. Sometimes you had no choice; you'd have to be in the choir or in the chorus line or wherever.
Yeah.
So I didn't mind that because I was always hidden with other people, behind other people. I wasn't the main person in the spotlight. So I enjoyed doing that. And occasionally a teacher would hear me singing and say, "Oh, you sound very nice. Would you like to come and, audition for this or audition for that?" But I was too shy, too nervous to do anything like that. So
Right.
I used to just say, "Thanks very much, but I can do the chorus. I can do something in the chorus." And
Great.
so I kind of like took baby steps with the way that I came to um, air my voice, if you like.
Yeah.
And then when I left school, I started work as a sewing machinist in a factory. And on an evening, I joined a local band at the time, and I was doing backing vocals for them. And they were going out doing all sorts of things around the country on an evening. And so that's how I learned by doing the backing vocals to become a bit more confident, if you like.
Yeah.
And until one day, long story short, I obviously went out to be in the front of everything. And I met John Hughes and John Beck, and they encouraged me to write with them, which had never happened before. And so, yeah, that's how it kind of started, and a lot more detail in between that. But yeah.
Indeed, and we're going to pick up from that as well. Now, the Joe Stafford song, was it "You Belong to Me," the big hit?
No, it was I had an album of her songs on
Right.
an LP that my mother gave me, and I had a small record player in my room, and I used to have
Right.
it, and I was telling John today, I think that I used to have it on repeat, and the way that I used to do it was put the arm back. I think you put the
Yes.
arm of the record player back and it repeats. I used to have that on all night, all night, just
Wow. We
listening to
amazing.
it, and and just kind of hearing what her timbre was and how she was phrasing things, and how she had learned to breathe in between all the phrases and things like that. So I just learned by listening to what I'd call were really great singers at that
Yeah.
time, and even more modernist singers than that, and there was people that my mum used to have on record, like Brooke Benton and people like that.
Wow. Yeah.
So yeah, there was a mix of people that I learned to sing from just listening to, and perhaps learning to sing loud but quiet.
Yes.
It's a
Yes.
hard
Yeah.
thing to do if you don't want people to hear you and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
but they did finally hear me singing because there was one Christmas when my father had bought one of these cassette recorders, and it had
Yeah.
a microphone, and everybody was really excited at Christmas, and we all had a turn at singing. And when it came round, because I was the last one to go, when it came round to me, I thought, well, I'm gonna have to do it now because everybody else has done it. So I started singing something. I can't even remember what it was, but they were absolutely stunned because they'd never heard me
Wow.
sing sort of straight, upright in front of them.
Yeah.
And they kept
Yeah.
on asking me to sing more and more. And I did occasionally, but when I got in a band, I got even more sort of, "Oh, you're not coming to the gig. You're not coming to the gig." You like, it made me nervous, but they still came. My father comes sometimes. He'd come along to a show that was with a local band, depending on who the band was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you
It
were
was
at school,
tumbling
did you perform?
tumbleweeds. I'm sorry. It was, to answer your question, it was tumbling tumbleweeds that I really uh, grasped onto because it was
Right.
such a melancholy type, wide open space and beautiful string arrangement and the whole thing. It just captured my heart in that way. And so I used to listen to that more so than all the others on repeat.
Yeah.
And and then later on in life, I got to actually do a cover of it just by accident, really. It was just when
Wow.
we were at Peter Gabriel's studio, Real World,
Yes.
recording Bloom, the second album, and we were sat around just having a late night, a very late night in the studio, and people were saying, "Well, why don't we just do some covers?" Just I thought it wasn't going to go on any record. I didn't have a clue that it
No.
was going to be recorded. I just thought we were just having fun. So we
Yeah.
did Itchy Park and we did Tumbling Tumbleweeds and then at the end of it, it all being recorded and I didn't know. I swear I never knew.
Wow.
I had no clue because we were just chilling out, having a
Yes.
beer, just doing it that way. It wasn't as if it was, oh, let's get behind the mic, get in the booth and, get
Yeah. Yeah.
recording it
Yeah.
properly. Just we just did it on the fly, really.
Wow. And
Well,
sometimes that's the best
it
way.
did develop. It did develop from there because they all came along and started doing backing vocals, and we laid down the backing vocals separately and things like that. So I did get an inkling there was something going on, but I just thought it was fun.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
how
Yes.
naive I was at what was going on. Probably not paying too much attention. Let's put it that way.
I mean, sometimes it's great if you've got the machine running there and
Yeah.
people are just, if that, I mean, just imagine if that hadn't been recorded, it would like, you could recollect it, but it's just wonderful that it's been put in that times capsule there
Yeah, it's
and
just
you've been able to,
captured a
you know what I
moment.
mean?
Yeah, it just captured a
You
moment
know,
because we were all just having a good time
yeah,
and just chilled. It was a good night as well. It was really good. It was fun to do.
that's right. A good night with the boys to coin one
Yes,
of your titles
that
in
was
the
a good one.
girls.
Yeah, that was a fun video to do as well. Apart from actually being on one of these cherry picking crane things
Oh, yes.
in LA because it was shot in LA,
Right.
and we had to go on. I had to go on one of these crane things, and they had like they used to have drive-ins in America, a lot of drive-ins for
Yeah.
movies,
Yeah.
and the screens are just enormous. And we shot it sort of in one of those places where they had a lot of the film that they were going to add to the actual finishing thing on the
Right.
screen behind me as I was performing. And when I came back down, John was saying to me, John, my partner and co-writing partner, he was saying, "Oh
Yeah.
God, you were so brave. You were so brave." I just do it. I just get on and I just
Yes.
do
Yeah.
it.
Yes. You
Goodness knows.
mustn't be.
Yeah, I should have twigged when they were tying me in, sort of buckling me in on the thing. I should have realized how high up I was going.
That's right. That's right. In the crow's nest there. Lovely.
Yes. And the zombies were all very, very good fun, and that whole video was fun to do.
Yep. It looks great as well. Absolutely love it. And we're going to talk about your
Yeah,
videos as well a little bit
yeah,
later on.
yeah.
Now, you mentioned that there's members of your family quite musical. Have they gone onto the road of stardom, or is it something that they just keep to themselves? Or family
Not really.
occasions?
Not really. I doubt my brother, one of my brothers, when I've heard him sing, um, he he sounds a lot like me. Well, I sound a lot
Right.
like him.
Right.
And he's got that kind of voice that isn't quite soul, isn't quite rock, and it's got a lot of different qualities in there. And
Yes.
he played bass and everything. And he did write his own songs and he'd recorded them. And I think he sent some of his demos off to people. And I think there was a band called the Archies or something like that, Archies
Oh,
or
yes.
something.
Yes.
They
The
were quite
arches. Yes.
interested
Yes.
in signing him at the time. But I
Right.
don't know what happened with it because I don't think he pursued it or he didn't think it was right for him or something like that. But
Right.
yeah, he dabbled in a bit of writing music and things like that, and he was very good. Um, and he was a big influence on me because of the music that he liked. For a black guy growing up you know, at that time,
Yeah.
he liked music that probably you wouldn't look at him and think, oh yeah, he likes this type of music. He liked Sex Pistols, the Smiths,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all kinds of different things, you know. So,
Yeah.
so he was out there with the music. He was delving in all kinds of types of music. So,
Yeah.
and he passed a lot of that music on to me, and I heard a lot of that stuff. So, and Elvis Costello and things like that came a bit later, and all that kind of stuff. But my mother and my father, my stepfather, he loves music. He just loves to listen to music. I think his favorite singer was Brooke Benton, hence why
Right.
I'd heard Benton. And my mother, she liked a lot of country and western type stuff, or even Joseph Locke. I think there was a guy who was called Joseph
Yes, there
Locke back
was
in the
Joseph
day.
Locke. Yes, that's right.
Very, very Irishy type, sort of classic folky type music. I don't know what you call it, but she
Yeah.
liked him and she liked different types of reggae and things like that. So it was just so much of a meld in my house that I couldn't put my finger on what one sort of genre that really everybody was listening to because everybody listened to everything. My mum wasn't really a singer because she didn't really have the voice for it.
Right. Right. Right.
Her voice was very high and quite sort of small sounding.
Right. Right.
So I don't think she had that musical gene or whatever, but I do realize that my uncles and people like that were very musical. They played in churches and things like that back in
Right.
Jamaica and things like that. So there was music in the family, but not directly from my parents, if you like. They
Yes.
like just listen. They didn't actually pursue a career or have any ambition to be a singer or a songwriter or anything like that.
Yes. It's well. It's you've done very well for yourself there, and your brother there. You'll have to try it again. If
I doubt
definitely
it
yes.
now.
Now you mentioned earlier on that because the question I was going to ask you was, did you have any other jobs before going in the music business? And you said you were
Yes.
a sewing machine operator. What
Yeah.
did you did that?
Alice,
That is
yeah.
and admin you did as well, didn't you? Clerk typist.
Yes, I did. Well, that all took in steps. I did different jobs. So I
Yeah.
started out as a sewing machinist, and I just went into work just so that I could get work and make some money.
Yeah.
And then I did that for a couple of years, and then I thought, this is really quite sort of boring work, really.
Yeah.
So I I decided to ask my parents if I could take a year out and just do an introductory course in college and to see what
Right.
I wanted to do. So that's what I did for a year. And then when I finished there, I did an on-study course and took a typing exam and passed that, and then went
Wow.
in to be a typist. So I did it. I did some typing jobs here and there, and then I ended up as being the clerk typist for the magistrate's place in Leeds for petty
Right.
fines and things like that. So I worked there for a while, and that was my last job because I remember then asking my boss at the time if I could take a couple of days here and a couple of days there to go and do something to do with music. I'd have to go
Yeah.
maybe and try and meet people at record companies and things like that. But I soon quit that job because I could.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Because
At the
my
time. Yes.
at the time I could, and I was supported by John Hughes, and he said, "Well, look, you don't have to do that. You don't have to ask for time off," because I think both John Hughes and John Beck were still working at the time when we were trying to get a lot of interest, drum up a lot of interest with the record companies and people like
Yeah.
that. So we'd take time off and just take a jaunt down to London and
Yeah.
meet people, and then you do what you call showcases for all these different record companies, and they'd come and see you and analyze what they think they can do with you, or if they can't do anything with you. Um, but yeah, during those times, we'd take now demo tapes of the songs that we'd written,
Yeah.
which, as I say, most of them ended up on Great Expectations. So a lot of the songs that were on Great Expectations were on our demo.
Wow.
And yeah, eventually when we finally got a manager, Ian McAndrew from Wildlife Entertainment on board, he and the music publishers, the Virgin Music Publishers, managed to persuade EMI to sign us. So
Wow.
that's how that happened.
Amazing. 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 We're
Yeah.
going to talk about that a little bit later on as well. You're giving me the
Yeah.
answers to the questions before I was at them.
I can talk behind
I
lights
love it.
off.
I love it, Tasmin. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, Tasmin, Tasmin, you've performed with local bands on backing vocals. When did you actually decide to take up the job as the lead vocalist in any of these bands?
Well, the story starts where I was in a band called Dignity. That was my first band doing backing vocal singing. And the people in that band taught me a lot because they sat down with me and we went through harmonies that we were doing for a cover because it was mainly a covers band.
Yeah.
And so we did a lot of funk and soul and reggae and things like that. And so I'd learned how to do that in very sort of efficiently, if you like.
Yeah.
And so when I was on stage, I also got more confidence because I was the backing vocalist. I didn't have all that attention on me straight away. So I had
Yeah.
time to kind of learn the ropes, if you like, and learn how to present yourself on stage and how to use the microphone to the best of your ability. Because
Yeah.
there are sort of techniques to using the microphone to do whatever you're doing when you're singing. You just don't hold it in one place.
No, no. Yeah.
There's a lot of movement and there's a lot of and so you just get a lot of confidence by doing that. And I think that I built up a lot of confidence. And so after they'd sacked me from that band, which they sacked
Sacked.
me over, yeah,
Unbelievable.
they sacked me. They sacked me. I know, I couldn't believe it at the time. I was devastated.
I
They'd
bet.
sacked me because they wanted as another girl in there, which was more, let's say, more eye candy for the audience and things.
How
That
very
was the
dare
kind of
they.
vibe that was going. And so I thought, well, okay, fine. If that's it, that's it, And I
I
went
bet you
on
looked
to,
wonderful, Tasman.
yeah,
I
I
bet
thought I
you
looked
looked
cool.
wonderful. I bet. How dare
And
they? I bet you they
well, I
regretted
just,
it when they saw you on the telly.
well, maybe perhaps I was at the time when they sacked me. I thought, you'll regret it. You'll regret it.
I bet. I bet.
A little bit upset about it.
Yes, yes.
But I moved on pretty quickly from there because I just had a passion for wanting to carry on. And so I joined other bands within the Bradford area and Huddersfield and places like that. And so I was then the lead singer in these bands.
Wow.
And so, yeah, and so that's how it all developed because I was so passionate about wanting to just continue it and to grow from there. I didn't want to just shrink away again.
No, no.
I put myself forward in being the lead singer, and that's how I did it. That's what gave me the impetus and the strength and the courage to do it because I was so passionate about wanting to just sing. But I didn't want to just sing other people's songs. I never ever wanted to just do that. I
Yeah.
wanted to express things that I was experiencing that I really liked and that I wanted to sing about. And a lot of these bands that I were in, they were just writing the songs and then just giving them to me and to
Right.
sing. And I just didn't want to, you know, I just didn't want to be a voice on a stick, if you know what I mean. It was just
No,
a
no.
case of I wanted to be I'd always watch people on Top of the Pops and seeing them being so original or authentic, and I just thought the only way to be authentic is to write your own music and present yourself the way you are
Yes.
and what you like. And I thought I had something to offer. So yeah, and so that's how I started off by becoming the lead singer in those days. I just kind of like moved through different bands and then I met John Hughes and John Beck and we decided that we wanted to write original material together and they encouraged me then to write with them and and that's how it took off.
That's yes, of course. I mean, that was in the late '80s that you teamed up with your
Yeah,
longtime partner John Hughes and friend John Beck
yeah,
for
yeah.
a songwriting recording project, and you were at Flexible Response Studios in Bradford, where John
Yes.
had a small pre-production studio. Now, what was the feeling like writing and recording at the studios? Did you collectively have a feeling you were going to be writing something special?
I think we all three of us were very excited about what the sounds we were getting and the kind of um, the flavor that we all three of us came out with.
Yeah,
It's the best way I can express it. Yeah, we were just excited about writing our own music and putting something out there that was original, and we all had that desire. And when we started writing, we were just basically just we'd set up in John Hughes's kitchen. He had
right.
a mixing console there because he was quite the whiz at things like that, and
Wow.
not
Yeah.
only musical and artistic, he was also quite technically minded as well. And so he had the whole setup on his mixing console that he had, and we'd just mix, we'd sing and write music through that and get the
Right.
right sounds and tones and things like this. And that's how we built it up. And then we started making demos. And at the studio that was in Bradford, sometimes we'd go down there and use that equipment because it was far more superior in the little tap room that John worked from. He had a lot more
Right.
equipment there. So it was back and forth. We were doing a little bit here at the house, and we'd
Yeah.
go then to the studio in Bradford, the little tap room, and record a bit more or do things there. He'd already been working with other artists there as well, so a few bits and
Right.
pieces here and there, but not so much when we got together. We just solely concentrated on what we were doing then. And so when we were down there, we wrote Sleeping Satellite, the beginnings
Wow.
of it, because I was with John Hughes at the time, just me and him, and he was thrashing out a few chords, and I just obviously I just come out with whatever I come out with. I just wanted
Yeah.
to say something that I felt was working really well with his chords, and so I just sang and I had lyrics like "I blame you for the moonlit sky," and I didn't really know what I was singing about. There's some nonsense lyrics after that, and just vowel
Yeah.
sounds, just to keep the momentum going of the ideas going. And we just looked at each other and just knew that there was something special with
Special.
that. Um,
Wow.
and we developed that later on. We started developing it more and more. And then John Hughes went away with a few bits and pieces and lyrics that I had and wrote the lyrics to it. He was sitting outside one day in the sunshine. He was just reading it was reading a journal, some kind of, it could have been a science journal or something like that. I can't remember
Right.
which, but it was around about the time of the 20th anniversary of man's first landing on the moon, and it was
Yes.
asking
Right.
questions. Why haven't we done anything? Why haven't we progressed since then? Why hasn't there, people were asking these questions. And so we thought, John asked me, and then he came up with the metaphor for the moon, sleeping satellite, and he came to me and he said, "What do you think
Right.
about this?" I said, "That's fantastic," and he was telling me
Wow.
about the idea he had, and from there he wrote the lyric to the song, and we went and just recorded that and had that demo and sent it off with other
Absolutely
tracks like
amazing.
In Your Care and Lords of the New Church and things like that. Ariane was different. Ariane was actually birthed, if you like, at the studio at Sound West
Right.
in London. We're actually in the recording studio recording, and we just
Wow.
came up with that.
And it's
Yeah,
amazing. It's an amazing song as well. Absolutely
yeah.
love that one. We're going to talk about all of your singles as well shortly. Now, you recorded a collection of demos, as you mentioned, and you are writing as the trio of the Archers, ready to share with potential recording labels. And eventually, after signing up a manager, Ian McAndrew, at Wildlife Entertainment, and a publishing contract with Virgin, as you mentioned, and then you got your recording contract and sealed the deal with EMI Records. How did
Yeah.
it feel to be signed to EMI after all your hard work as a team?
Well, it felt good. It felt that it was like a pattern, not a pat on the back, but vindicated to say you weren't wasting your time. You actually had something because they had already EMI and a lot of the other record companies that we sent that tape to. It already had the Sleeping Satellite song on it. They didn't recognize it to being what we did, but
Right?
because of our passion and persuasion, they got to see what our vision was, and that's how it came about. But yeah, it was like a start. When they actually signed us, we thought, right, this is it. We're gonna, make the best of this and
Yeah.
write songs and let people hear how um happy and how wonderful we felt about the songs that
The
we wrote,
passion.
and
Yeah.
hopefully that came across when people would hear it. They'd hear the soul of that.
Yeah, and I mean, the album, Great Expectations, is an absolutely fabulous album, which we're going to talk about. Now, after a few exploratory recording sessions with various producers, the debut album recording commenced with Julian if I could say him, Mendelssohn.
Mendelssohn.
Yeah, apologies there, Julian, and Paul Wickens
Yes.
as
Yeah.
co-producers. Now, what was
Yeah.
the first song you recorded in the studio, and were you nervous?
Oh, I think we tackled Sleeping Satellite first. I'm
Really?
sure.
Wow.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I could be wrong. My memory's not that great on these things, but I think we did. I more have a vivid memory of that because they were excited about it. They were excited to start it. They saw the potential in it, and it didn't really change that much apart from there was a lot of fairy dust, if what I call fairy dust on it, that took it to
Yes,
the
at the
next level.
start.
There were
Yeah,
great
yeah.
people. There were great people that played on that in the studio that added to that flavor. But that essence of that whole thing and the arrangement and everything, the tone of it was just the same. And hopefully maybe one day, I don't know if that'll happen, but if we find the demo, we'll be able
Yes.
to show that. But I remember listening to the demo as well at the time and thinking, it's not that different, but it's just more embellished, if you
Yes.
like.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was great working in the studio with Julian Mendelssohn because he has so much experience, and being in a big studio like that. Anyway, is just lush, if you like. It's just
Yeah, yeah.
wonderful because there's just so much there, and there's so much expertise in all of that, which we didn't all have. John Hughes may have had a lot more of an inkling about things like that because he did co-produce one of the tracks on Great Expectations, which is,
Right.
I think, uh, you'd have to remind me. I can't remember anyway which one it was, but I'm trying to remember it. I'm
Trying
trying
to
to, it's
remember
not
it.
coming.
It might
Yeah.
come back to you.
And it'll come back. And so yeah, so we were just spoiled really with all of this and all of the equipment and the staff that were working there. They all had that expertise and knowledge of how to just get sounds instantly, and
Yeah.
also the connections to all of those great musicians that played on our album. It was just Robbie McIntosh, who's played for the Pretenders, and
Wow.
um, Elliot Randall played on it, and there's
Yeah.
just so many people on this on that album, that was just, it's unbelievable how wonderful it all sounds when they come and put their magic on it, as
Yeah.
I call it. You're sitting in awe of these, and it was one of my favorite times to be listening to these people play on the songs that we'd written and bringing them to another level with their expertise in whatever instrument that they play. Um, it was like having an add-on to the band
Yeah.
within the studio. And that happens with the producer, the engineer, everybody. It was just they all come together now as a band. We've just
Yeah.
evolved, if you like.
Yeah.
Um, and it was amazing because I couldn't believe some of the times when I came out the studio because a lot of the time I'd have to do the backing vocals to my own vocal.
Yeah.
Um, Although on a couple of these tracks there are some backing vocals that are not mine. Um, just wonderful and and just to get to experiment as well, to go and take it further. So you're still writing as you're in the studio. It was just
Amazing.
a very exciting um, and every time I think about it, my memory of it is just all fun and happiness.
Feel
Yeah,
good vibes.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it was brilliant.
I love the 12-inch version of Sleeping Satellite. So everyone will have to listen to that version because then you can certainly
That's
hear all
amazing.
the, the all of the instrumentation and everything. The
That is
and just
fantastic,
everything.
especially right at the end where Robbie McIntosh plays his guitar and
That's
the
right.
riffs that he's
Yeah,
coming out with. It. I'm just thinking, whoa,
yeah. That's right. Yes,
that is just yeah. I mean, blown away. I mean, even now today, if I ever get to listen to it, or if
yeah,
if I have a chance to listen to it, I listen to those instrumental bits right there at the end of the extended version.
yeah.
It's just perfection, really. It is.
It is,
It
isn't
really
it?
is.
It is beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful. So yeah,
yeah.
every time I play that on the radio, I like to play the extended version. You see,
Oh,
it's a bit of a
good,
treat for
good.
listeners. So there you
Yes, it is a
go then.
treat. It is a treat.
That's
I'm
right. Yeah,
excited now. Just
we'll
thinking
cancel
about
we would cancel new I'd cancel the news for you.
it. Yeah,
We've got to
thank you
play the
so
full
much.
end version.
Yes, we are giving them a present. I'm not being big-headed. I'm just saying
Definitely.
it's not me. It's whatever comes through you that
Yeah,
does that. Because I'm a great
definitely.
believer in your soul comes through the music, and the soul is
Definitely.
like connects with other souls, and that's how it works.
Definitely.
Because
Definitely.
everything has a frequency. As I've with vibration of life, it's all everything's vibration,
That's right. That's
and
right.
emotions have frequencies. That's my understanding of it, and I feel that feelings do travel and emotions do travel, and they connect in like a kind of a telepathic way.
Definitely. Well, Alan Clark of the Hollies said to me, he says everything is vibrational. So when your single came out, I thought, have you been listening to my interview with Alan Clark of the Hollies? With the
No, no, that's amazing.
vibrational. Because he said when he writes
Yeah,
music, it's all to do with everything's vibrational.
that's
Everybody
right.
is vibrational, and people don't
Hmm.
realize that. So that's why everybody likes different kinds of music, different kinds of
Yeah,
everything.
that's right.
Otherwise, we would be standing still.
I remember an interview with somebody interviewed Daniel Lanois,
Right?
one of my favorite, one of the people I like, his music anyway. So,
Yeah.
and he was talking about doing recording an album, and he was
Right.
talking about how he'd chosen a certain building, which is a very sort of ancient type building, and how he felt that the room had its own. Not just the sound quality, but its own its own vibe,
That's it.
where
Yes. Yes.
there's
Bit of
something
energy.
that remain in this such an ancient building that helps with the sound and somehow magically comes through the whole setup that he does. So he's a great believer in where it is that you record your
Yeah.
music and things like that. So um, you know, you can also evoke things, can't you, as well, within a sterile environment in a
Of course.
recording studio. But if you're doing it in a building, a very old building, and you're recording in that building, you are to use the sounds that are around you and the
Yeah,
vibes that are around you. So everything is kind of, works together.
that's right,
Yeah,
and resonates in your songs as well.
it
Now,
does. Yeah.
yeah. Now, did you have a say in what songs were to be selected for your Great Expectations album?
Oh yeah, that definitely,
Yes.
definitely. We were the we obviously had our discussions with the label and things, but between us, the management and the record label and ourselves, we were in agreement with that. We were all
Good.
pulling in the same direction. Well, let's put it this way, they agreed with us.
Yes, yes, good. Well, that's great.
because because in the beginning they didn't even recognize that Sleeping Satellite was a gem, if you like. So
Wow.
it was because we had persuaded them, and
Yes,
so we used that nous, if you like, to choose the songs that we felt had that vibe, had a good vibe,
yes,
and
yes.
persuaded them, and they agreed, and they had their say, and we had our say. We were the ones really pushing that boat, if you like.
Which is really, really good at that time, which we're
Yeah,
going to talk about a little bit later on, because things
yeah,
changed a little bit there.
it did, yeah.
But with regards to the title of your album, Great Expectations, was that your idea as well?
Yes, that was my idea. When I
Your
was
idea.
younger, as I said to you, I used to watch a lot of old movies, um, purely because a lot of them were on when I was younger. When I was a little
Yeah,
child, they were just on black and white, even, and then they obviously turned to color at some point when we got a
yeah.
color TV.
Yes, yes. 1969 was when we went colour.
So, so yeah, so I mean, so I watched Great Expectations by Charles Dickens on the movie version on
Right.
TV, and I was struck by Pip, the main
Yeah,
character in the film or in the book, and how naive he was, and also how ambitious he was as well. How ambitious he was. He wanted to better himself. He wanted to be better than he was, and he became a little bit ashamed of his background
hmm,
when he met the young lady. I forget names
yeah,
nowadays,
yeah.
and
I'm the same.
honestly, but it's not even nowadays. I think I've always been like that. And so anyway, I mean, so when he sort of fell for the young girl that he fell for, and she was sort of above him in terms of class and wealth
Yeah,
and all of that, he wanted to be part of that naturally, but he didn't feel like he was welcome in that circle.
yeah.
And I suppose all people, most people feel that they want to better themselves. They want to be better when they're younger. If they've not got things that perhaps another child has got or another
Yeah,
family has got, they see other things on TV that they think, oh, wouldn't it be lovely to have a house like that? Wouldn't it be lovely to walk around in clothes like that or have a
that's right.
car like that?
Yeah,
Nothing too grabby, if you like, but just a fantasy of wanting to try these wonderful, beautiful things, or
yes,
to have
yes.
those wonderful things. Just naivety, really. Um, Not to say that you don't want them. There's nothing wrong
Hmm.
with having them, but just dreaming as a child and wanting to have things and have a life that's wonderful as you see it in your own mind in a fantasy way. And I suppose I kind of related to that. And when he met the criminal, I can't remember his name, Mogwitch or Magwitch or somebody like that.
Yeah,
Anyway, he was a criminal because he helped him. He'd given him the money, left him the money, and so the money then was there for him. And he had never had that amount of money before. He didn't know how to handle that money. He'd only
yeah,
had the dream and the fantasy, which again think speaks to me, not knowing how to deal with those things, all very new and very exciting, and things that you've always wanted. I always wanted to be a singer and be out there performing and just giving out the things that I find wonderful,
Yeah.
and maybe other people would like it too. Just as naive as that, really.
Yes.
And nothing wrong with that. It's just it's a good
No.
thing to be like that. It's just that when you get into the real world, things are a little bit more complex than that, and
Yes.
they can get a bit overwhelming because you're not used to handling that situation. And so that's how I felt that myself and Pip, the character, had a
Mhm.
sort of a similarity in that respect. So that's why I called it Great Expectations. And also, by coincidence as well, I was wearing kinds of Dickensian type clothes. I'd gravitated towards that without
Yeah.
actually realizing. Sometimes these things just happen very serendipitously. Oh, I don't even know the word. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
Serendipitously.
Serendipitous. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's how it all kind of like snowballed from there. And I guess Great Expectations was just a part of that evolving
Yeah.
of ideas, if you like. And yeah, so that's how that title came about, really. And it was my idea because of that.
Excellent. And the cover of Great Expectations, you are in that kind of Dickensian kind of
I am,
coat,
yes.
aren't you? The long coat, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought
Yeah.
it was cool. It was a cool coat, and I love the waistcoat. And
Yeah.
I loved in those days where they used to have little frilly things hanging
Yes.
from your
From yeah.
coat jacket. And I
Yeah.
loved
Yeah.
the little fob watches that you used to be able to get. It was just so
Oh,
fun.
yes. Your pocket watch and things. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it was all play for me. It was just me playing.
Yeah.
It was all playing. I was just, oh, this is great. Um, and so yeah, that was the image, and they ran with that. They kind of like said, yeah, that looks different. It's
Yeah.
unusual,
Yeah.
and so we were all in agreement with that. And when when it came to the first days of them promoting or marketing it,
Right.
Ian had a marketing idea where they'd put posters up all over London, and the first poster was just a cardboard box, and it just said, "Who is Tasmin Archer?" And which
Wow.
is quite ingenious, really, because a lot of people would
Yeah.
be looking up and going, "It's a cardboard box," and they're saying, "Who is Tasmin Archer?" And we saw them.
Uh-huh.
We saw them in London when we were there, and we were thinking, "Wow, this is unusual," and it was quite strange to see my name up on a
On the
billboard
cardboard.
somewhere all over the place. And then
Amazing.
week two, I know, and then week two, they'd have the box a bit more tatty and opened. And then on week three, it was opened a bit more. And then on week four, I think it was, I was there. Up I pop out of the box.
Wow. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing.
So
That's
that's
great.
yeah. So that was their marketing idea, which is genius, really. And yeah, that's why you can only see cardboard box pieces on the floor because it was all built upon that marketing strategy.
Absolutely amazing. Well, that
Yeah.
person certainly needs a medal because that kind of thing just absolutely amazing. Amazing.
Yes,
I
it
would have
was.
loved to
It
have seen
was.
that.
It was. It was pretty cool, really. And yeah, they've obviously they know what they're doing in that respect.
Definitely, because it did definitely work for you there.
Yeah.
Now, who decided to release Sleeping Satellite as the first single? And did you have a feeling it was something special on recording it at first? I think you did say you thought something was
Yes.
special going on.
Yes. I knew as soon as we were in the studio and the tap room in a flexible response recording studio in Bradford. It was just me and myself, me and John, and just strumming away, getting ideas. We were always trying to get ideas for songs, so it didn't matter what we were doing and where we were. It was just put it down on tape, let's have a listen, that kind of
Yeah,
thing. Um, and so we got the idea then, and I looked at him and he looked at me, and we just knew it was something special, and we developed it on from there. Um, we knew even when it came to going to in the studio um, with Julian Mendelssohn and Paul Wickens, they knew it too, that it was special, and so that was the first. It was always in the back of everybody's mind, or in the forefront
Right.
of their mind, maybe spoken or unspoken, I can't even remember which, but we knew that that was the one that was going to be the first single off the album. Definitely, yeah.
Amazing. And I think it was a perfect choice as well, because you went
Yes,
straight in there with it, you know, straight in with it.
yes, we did. Yeah,
And as soon as I heard it at the time, I was straight out and buying it because I thought
yeah,
that's number one. That, you know what I mean? I
yeah,
could tell. Honestly,
yeah.
I would
It's
buy
amazing, really.
singles.
I don't know if I would have thought, oh, it's going to be a number one. I don't know if I
Oh,
would have think, oh, yeah, it's going to be number one here,
yeah,
and the
yeah,
Great Expectations album is going to be like massive worldwide. I
yeah,
didn't think about it in terms of that. I just thought about what it would feel like for other people to listen to it. I just wanted
yes.
everybody to hear it. That was it. And if it had got to number 10, I've not got
It would have
low
been great.
expectations.
Yeah,
I would have thought, wow, that's brilliant.
yeah, yeah,
I never dreamed that it would do as well as it did. I didn't think that it would do. I didn't even think about what it would do. I just knew that I wanted people to listen to it, and I knew it
yeah,
was
and
good.
enjoy
That
it.
was it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I could sense that, and I was really pleased that you got a number one. And I saw you on Top of the Pops there, and I thought, my goodness gracious me, that she is a star. Then she's going to do very, very well, and I could see that at that time. Now, what was it like appearing on Top of the Pops? And can you remember who you on
Yeah.
with?
Oh, no, I can't remember who
Your
I was
first
on with. I
appearance.
think it could have been Boys to Men. Boys to Men was on
Wow.
there, maybe
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they
yeah.
were in the. I think they were maybe it's on the top, and we knocked them off. I can't remember which.
Yes, was it
Were
End
they
of the
number
Road
one?
or one of the
Yeah,
singles? Yeah, yeah.
I think they were number
You
one,
might
weren't
be
they? And then
right.
we knocked them off. I think that's what
Yeah.
happened. I think we met them actually in the sh- in the
In the
place where
green
they
room.
shoot. The place where they shoot Top of the Pops. I mean, there
Yeah,
were loads of different rooms and staircases and things. So we bumped
yeah.
into a lot of people at that time. I think even Take That, it might have been Take That, might have been there. It might have been the second
Yes.
time because we have been on Top of the Pops a few times. So the
Yeah.
first time, with all the excitement and everything, it's hard to think who really was there at that time because
That's right.
we met so many people on when we've appeared on there. There've been so many people. I don't know if Shaggy might have been on one of them, but
That's right.
the
Yes. Probably
first
doing
one,
his old
was he on the first
Carolina.
one? Was he on the first one? I really don't know. You more know more than I would.
Yeah, he probably did old
He was there,
Carolina. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and I don't know. There was what's a what's that band called? I can't remember now. Oh, I can't remember. That name of the band is gone. But there was a few people that we met on there and saw perform.
Yeah.
And it was the first time performing on there was quite nerve-wracking, really. I think, but I just held it together because we'd been doing quite a few live performances and run-ups and things, like I've said, throughout my time of
That's
doing
right.
stuff
Learning the
in school.
craft.
I was building up of how to perform on stage. You just have to bite the bullet and get on there.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
Yes,
get on and
straight on
do
the
it. You
stage
know,
there.
just somebody shove you on.
Yes, yes. But apparently the studios were actually quite small in the audience because the cameras would have to, get around people and
Yes,
such
I
like.
do. Apparently, somebody wrote to me not just recently and said, "Do you remember when a young girl that was in the audience had got hit with a camera?"
With a camera. Wow.
Then the way that they swing it around, apparently, it was quite chaotic at that time at Top of the Pops. There's
Right.
a lot of chaos going on. People running from one stage to the next stage to watch,
Yes.
and you know, it's and the young kids, and a lot of them are young
Yeah.
girls and boys, and they just r- moving them, shifting them off to one side and then shifting them off to another side.
And all those massive cables all over
It
the
doesn't look
floor.
like that on TV. It just looks like people are just partying on TV, doesn't it? Because I mean, I
It
watched
does.
some of the pop since I was young, really young.
I have,
And
yes.
I don't remember seeing. I don't remember seeing like Queen being chaotic or anything like that. Just
No,
people
no, no.
them out. You know, it's
That's
just
right.
really
That's
the
right.
artists are not that chaotic because they have time to rehearse it a bit,
Yeah.
where the cameras
Yes.
are going to be and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was an interesting experience the first time. It was quite chaotic and yeah, but it was good
But
though because I felt wow, this is a program that I watched when I was younger and I'm on it.
yeah.
So yeah,
Excellent.
here I am. Oh wow.
I bet it was very surreal standing there. I mean, I can't believe this. This is amazing that you actually performed live on the show. And I mean, what was the experience like? And do you think this helped make the single more of a success, allowing your audience to hear your raw talent?
Raw, yeah. Um, I think we were always bemused by anyone that would want to mime on there.
Mime, yeah.
We were quite Puritan about it all, and you got to play live, but they wouldn't allow the backing band or anything like that to
No.
play live, because it to them it would be like setting up and trying to sound check everything and it may be going wrong,
Yeah.
so they wouldn't. So, but I insisted. I sung live, so
Yeah.
I felt better doing that. I felt less of a fraud or anything like that. So I just wanted to sing live. I don't know what the other people were doing, whether they were singing live or not. But I think at that time, a lot of people were singing live.
Yes.
I don't know about now, but there are shows in Europe and places like that where they really put their foot down and not want you to sing live. They want you to mime. But
Wow.
if you really insist, then I think you get your own way and you get to sing live, and that's what we wanted to do all the time. So yeah,
Yes, I had a little look before coming on to speak to you today, and I was going, Tasmin Archer's definitely singing live there. Absolutely
yes,
amazing. And I think they broadcasted it on
what's and
BBC Radio
all.
1. Who ought to know?
I beg you.
I think they broadcasted on BBC Radio 1 as well at the same time. They did a simulcast, and I think that's when they initially started doing like the lives with like KWS performed live as well, who may have
Oh,
been on
right.
one of your shows and people like that.
Yeah, there are places where they do shows like Jules later with Jules Holland where it's all live.
Yeah. Oh, yes, definitely. I mean,
And
that's
those
the
are
number one, that
fantastic
one.
because, yeah, it's quite fantastic because you're with the band and the band are together and it feels much more organic
Yeah.
and less plastic, if you like. And
Yes.
there are some places in abroad. I think there was a show called Taratata, which
Right.
is a music program. It was a similar thing to Jules Holland type show, later with
Right.
Jules Holland, where you play live. We did that there as well, and
Wow.
I just feel it's a better mood and a better sort of vibe when you play live.
It really does look good, Jules Holland as well, late in live. You know,
Yeah.
you can feel the vibes coming through the television set
Yes.
because
Yes.
everybody's like relaxed and you know what I mean. It's like going with the flow. I mean, obviously there'll be edits and such like. Maybe things do go wrong now and again, but it is a nice, cozy atmosphere, and I think
Yeah.
that is really lovely to see as well.
It is. It is. It's a good atmosphere. I don't think you get that many times to edit and change it. You've just got to do it one time. You get a
Yeah,
chance to rehearse and get it all set up for the cameras,
yeah,
and that's live. That definitely is live. So you have to do the whole thing, and then it comes to the show, and it's a very sort of methodical thing.
organized.
We just go around. It's organized. There's no. Oh, let's stop and like shoot that again.
Excellent.
If something really goes wrong, then yes, I suppose I would have to. But
Yeah.
that hasn't been that experience that I've witnessed. It's always been you're ready, you're ready, you're ready, and that's it. It goes. It
Yeah.
happens.
And
One
you're in a
artist.
round, you're in a round, aren't you, kind of thing?
That's
You
right.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
that's
really,
right.
yeah.
It's
And when were you
cool.
last, have you, well, you'll have obviously performed all of your songs on there. Did you do In Your Care on there?
Yeah, I think I did.
I thought so.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I did Lords of New Church the first time,
Right,
as a second number, but I did Sleep in Satellite on there.
right.
I don't know if I did In Your Care. I could,
Ah,
yes, I think I did. I think I did.
right.
And then the other time I was on there with Bloom, I think we did two numbers and that was it. Yeah, the same again. But it was
Yeah.
off Bloom, so yeah.
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 Beautiful, beautiful. Great to sing live there. And I was really chuffed that you were singing live there as well, because, that was quite unique at the time, really, because it was the
Yeah.
beginning of things like that. Now,
Yeah.
the video for Sleeping Satellite looks like it is like in a lab for science and inventions. Please, can you tell us the story behind that?
Well, it was a concept came up by either the record company people that worked at the record company may have come out with the some of the idea. I'm not right sure, but I know for definite that Lawrence Dunmore, who's a director
Right?
for videos and actually where has done films and has done films and
Wow.
works with Ridley Scott, I think. I'm not sure.
Oh,
But
my goodness, right.
there's all kinds now, and has done in the past done music videos, and he worked with us on Sleeping Satellite video. And I remember walking onto that set and thinking how magical it all looked.
Yeah,
It just looked fantastic. It was just I was amazed really. Um, and then there was a young little girl there that was like a little angel, and then there was an
yeah.
older fella that was sitting in the corner. It was looking more like I don't know, an old sort of guy that knew a lot about a lot.
Yes, that's right.
and
Yes, yes. With his long
and
beard there and that.
yeah, so it looked like a science lab and things. And then there was like the keyboards or the piano or whatever, the organ was there that looked like a very old-fashioned Victorian type organ type.
Looked like a
Yeah,
harpsichord.
and then they pull the curtain away, just a bit like those old-fashioned movies, those silent movies and
Yeah,
stuff. So I just thought it was really, really, really cool. And then they had me on the rotating wheel thing and the chair that was there, and it was all. And then the things were going off like sparkle things were going off here,
yeah,
there, and everywhere. Um, yeah, it was. I can remember it like it was yesterday, really, being on there. It feels as if I'm on there now again,
yeah,
going
yeah.
back to my mind.
Yeah. It,
Um,
it
yeah,
looked absolutely magical. Absolutely
it
magical it
was.
did.
It was a magical shoot as well. I mean, the whole thing was. Um, yeah, it was exciting. It was very exciting and a great thing to do. But we did another version of that as well of Sleeping Satellite video.
Right, right.
Americans wanted a different flavor. They didn't want an English European style flavor.
Oh,
They
right.
wanted another flavor that they felt was more Americanized. So we did the American version with Zana,
Right,
who was a music video director for that one, and she was the music director for In Your Care. So she did
right.
with us. She did the American version for Sleeping Satellite for the Americans, and she did In Your Care video. She
Wow.
did that one.
So the
Yeah.
American version, I'll have to try and hunt that one down because I've never seen the American
Well,
version.
it's cool as well. The American version is
Yeah.
cool as well. I liked it. Um, there's a really, really big, gigantic table that's got lit from underneath, and I'm sort of lying on with my face on the table, sort of thing, and with a lot
Right.
of balls that are representing planets and stars and things like this,
Right.
and I'm moving them around like God.
Right. Right. Oh, look. I'll have to see that, Tasmin, definitely. Yeah, I'll have a look for that one after the interview.
Yeah,
Great stuff.
but that
I
was
love it.
cool. And there's a
Great.
big projection on the back of an eagle, and it's just different. It's
That's
very
right, where the
different.
eagle flies.
Yes.
You see, I know the lyrics.
All right.
They probably took everything so literally, every single
Yeah.
lyric, you know.
Maybe,
Let's do this.
perhaps. Yeah, whereas
Yeah.
the one we did in the UK was not at all literal. It was very sort of a mood and an atmosphere,
Yes.
and I guess with all those scientific things in there, it was just down to people's minds who dream of doing big things and in expressing themselves and finding new things,
That's right. And then
new
the
things
test
that
tube drops
they're
on the
doing.
floor as well on one of the
Yes,
shots I
that's right. Yeah.
spotted. Yes, yes,
Yes.
see. See, I've been paying attention, Tasman.
Yeah, and yeah. So yeah, Lawrence did a good job, and he also did the cover as well, the album cover, sleeve
Oh,
cover.
wow. Yeah.
That was Lawrence Dunmore as well. He did
It's
that.
amazing as well. It looks, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful cover as well. Yes. So I should really frame that 12-inch single, put it on the wall there. Definitely. Because it is beautiful to look at. Now, to do with the video for Sleeping Satellite, did you have any problems with any of the candles blowing out on the set, as there were many?
There were many candles, yeah. They did blow out a few of them, as far as I'm aware, because they're proper real candles and not little battery operated things.
No, not theatrical candles.
You probably had to have, I don't know where the little fella was hiding that probably had the extinguisher or something like that.
Health and the
That would have been
firemen.
a danger. That would have been a danger, wouldn't it? Because I mean,
Yeah,
the actual building that we were in was quite a huge building,
yeah.
and I think that that building was used for sets and things
Right.
like that, videos of sets and things. So, but I can not remember the name of the actual building that it was shot in. So
Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, the candles will have gone out, and because the wind was blowing a tiny bit with
A little bit.
things
Yes, slightly.
moved about. Yeah, so they would have lit them a few times, I think.
But it does look
Taken a few takes.
took a few takes there, yes, and
Yes.
especially with you spinning around. Now, were you spinning around in the chair, or did the camera operator do most of the spinning for you?
No, I was spinning on the chair. At first, when I got on
Wow.
there, I thought it's like one of those little roundabouts that you go on the little kiddies park, and playground.
Great.
It was a bit like that, but you didn't have out to hold on to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Apart from when you were sat down, if you stood up, it's going round and round and round, and
Wow.
perhaps and that was giving me quite an unusual feeling because when you're going round and round, when you spin round on the spot,
Yeah. You
you
go a
get
bit
dizzy.
dizzy.
So they were stopping it now and again to get, to obviously to reorientate myself so that I could get back on and do it again. So it wasn't that bad. I don't
No.
remember being I don't remember being that upset about the fact that I was going around in a
No.
circular
No.
movement. No,
Yeah.
no,
You
I was
didn't
just
have your
focused really.
you just didn't have your dinner before going on the ride.
No, I don't even remember having any dinner all day that day.
I bet,
You
round and
probably
round.
did have them, but you're just so
Yeah.
excited and it's excitable. You like a little kid, you don't want to eat your tea, you want to just play.
Exactly, you do exactly. Now, did they are we able to give away a secret? Did they use pulleys for that spinning around, or was it
No, I
mechanical?
think they had it was it mechanical. I think it's
Right,
mechanical. Because they've got to keep it pretty
constant.
constant. And it has to go in a certain timing as well. You can't have it going
Yes,
too fast for the music. So they will have had it timed going
that's
round,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, you'll only need it
Yeah.
on 33 rather than 78.
Yeah, yes, it was a bit like me being on a record. That's not the first time that something's going round and round in my thing. On the video for uh, One More Good Night with the Boys, I'm
Yeah,
in a room where there's a disc and it's going around. It's probably one of those discs that you probably perhaps get on those old film movie places at the back where they all
That's right,
where
the
all the
gramophone record on there,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. So I was stood by that and it was going round and I kept thinking, I hope I didn't chop my neck off.
That's right. You don't want to have an injury of a 70-year record. Definitely
Yeah,
not.
because there were zombies coming in and all of this
Wow.
action was happening at the same time as the zombies came in. And then
Right.
my saviors, the Elvis and the other guy as well, you come in and
Yeah.
save us and they push all the zombies out the way so I could walk
Yeah.
through. I must be
I love that
blessed.
story. I love it. I love that story. Now, the second single scored. Sorry, the single. I'm getting all confused now. The
There you
single
go.
scored number one in the UK after you're doing all your spinning round.
Yes.
And for 2 weeks it was number one and spent 17 weeks on the chart in September 1992. Now, where were you when you heard the news? And was there a big celebration, Tasmin?
Yes. We were in I think we were in a hotel. We'd gone to a hotel because with our manager and at the time some of the staff at EMI um, to listen, I think, on the radio of the
Right.
countdown.
Yeah.
And I think perhaps they may have known, I don't know, they may have known that there was something big going to happen
Maybe
or
with the
that
midweek
they
sales or
were going to.
something on Radio 1 or whichever station
They
you were
will have
listening to.
known. They will have known. They will have known something about the sales and
Yeah.
how it's moving up the charts and what have you.
Yeah.
So they may have had some kind of an inkling about that, but for sure, I don't remember being told that yes, it's number one, and we're going up in the room to have a, a little soiree or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we always kind of like in this big sort of meeting room somewhere, and I remember that they must have put the radio on because
Yeah.
I think we were listening to the countdown of the charts and
There,
things. It
the UK
usually
Top 40. Yeah.
that's right. And so we didn't hear our name for a long time,
Yeah.
and there it was, number one. Tasmin Archer,
Wow.
see this, blah blah. And then they
Amazing.
play it, and then we're all like, "Oh right, okay, cool." And then they're popping champagne.
I bet. I bet. And I bet it was a real
Yeah.
thrill, going, hey, I'm not on yet. Is it going to be number one? Is it going to be number five?
Yes.
Kind of thing. Wow. A
Yeah.
thrill.
That's exactly how it was. It was like,
Yeah.
no, we're not on yet. They haven't mentioned our name. And then it was like, oh, okay, three, and then two. Oh, okay. Well, now it's real.
Oh, what an amazing achievement as well. After all that he'd been through as well, I bet it was a bit of a relief as well, going, this is just a cherished moment after all these years, going from
Yes,
the
it
80s,
is.
starting your writing, with,
Yeah.
with the guys
Yeah.
in that.
It's strange because when I look back and I was in my room and I was just looking in the mirror and with my brush and going, I'd like to thank and
Yeah,
pretending
yeah,
I've got an award,
yeah,
and just pretending. I was just playing. Like
yeah,
I always used to, I'm just playing at this. I'm just playing with that. I'm just playing
yeah,
at that. So it's all play.
yeah.
It's all play. And then
You just know
and
it's
if
going
it
to be
manifests, it
reality.
manifests. If it doesn't, it doesn't. There is no grasping after it. It can feel like that sometimes when you're nearly there
Yeah,
and you've nearly got something. You can feel the kind of nervousness of maybe it won't happen. Maybe
yeah.
this, and then you start to think, well, I'm not going to worry about that.
No, no.
I have a belief in what we do and things like that. I have a feeling about that, and I get joy from it. And so, if that
Yes.
joy continues, what else would I need?
Exactly, exactly. But yeah, fabulous achievement there, and great celebration that you had there. Now,
Yeah.
your debut album, Great Expectations, was released in October 1992 and was very well received, peaking at number 8 in the UK album chart and spending nearly a year on the chart, as I've checked the stats there. Were you bursting with pride on hearing the news?
Yeah, at this time, as the album was doing really well, I think we may have been out doing a lot of promotion at that time, simultaneously to things happening.
Yeah.
And it was just full on. It was we're going to Italy. We're going to be in Italy for a couple of days. We're going to be
Wow.
talking to these people. There's going to be 30 people starting from 7 o'clock till 10 o'clock, whatever it is.
My
Then at
goodness.
10 o'clock, we're going to meet and greet all these people from these different places that are connected to music and to the shops and to the, to the record shops and places like that. So it's
Yeah.
hello, how do you do? How you? Oh, you're great, you're great. Oh, thank you, thank you. And it's just all that, the continuous thing. And it went on like this for quite some time. And we'd get from one place to the next, and I wouldn't see any of the country go and visit anywhere. And people say, "Oh, have you been? Oh, you've been? Have you been to Italy? Oh, have you been to France? Oh, have you been? What was it like?" Well, I couldn't tell you. I got in the car. I got from the car and I went into
Yeah.
the hotel and I got in
That's
the
right.
hotel room and I had a kip before I had to go and do some more thing. And then
Promotion.
I had a bit of lunch in between finishing talking about myself and how I got
Yeah.
into it and what the songs are about and things like this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like shifting from one place to the next, not really realizing that I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I've got jet
Yeah.
lag. Not so much with the short trips,
No.
but just continuously traveling, continuously talking, performing. Um, it's a lot, and
It's
I
like
don't
being
think
on
I
a
was.
treadmill, isn't it? It's like,
Yes, I don't think I was. I don't, to be fair, I don't think I was the fittest person at that time either,
right.
and I don't think I was looking after myself in the best way I could have possibly done. In hindsight, maybe I would have done completely different, taken a different route of understanding, but you don't know what to expect,
No.
and I wasn't really prepared for the amount of work that was involved in keeping this machine going.
Yeah.
And so it was just, yeah, it was great going to see people and being enthused about new music, but it was also tiring as well. It was
Yeah.
also exhausting. So yeah, it was fun, but it was exhausting.
Well, it can be draining as well, repeating yourself constantly if
Hmm.
you're going from one city to
Yes.
another city to another city, because you're getting the same questions over and over again, and you're
Yeah,
going,
and
and you've got to keep yourself like, yay, because you don't want to
yeah,
go,
yeah,
oh, not that one again, because they would see
yeah.
your eyes
Because they
going,
don't know. They don't know.
no, no, they
They
do not
don't
to be
know. It's
asked.
I can't take it out on anybody because it's not their fault. It's not the fact that they don't know. And in fact, I feel a sense of gratitude to be able to tell people about my music. And so
Yes.
you're conflicted with the fact that you're exhausted, but you also know that you're doing it because you want the music to be heard and you want the music
Yeah.
to be out there and more people to hear it, you know.
Yes.
And it does become quite tiring after a while. It's so exhausting, like you said. And so we did have a little short break, but then EMI was saying, let's just keep this momentum up. Let's keep
Yeah.
you in the limelight and let's
Yeah.
let's perhaps do some covers. And I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. I
No.
really
No.
don't want to do that. I want to go away and write some more music. We
Yeah.
can't. We got to take the time off to do that. Okay. In the meantime, we're thinking, okay, if we have to do it, then let's do something I know I'm going to thoroughly enjoy.
Yeah.
And an artist that I really like, genuinely like the music.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's how we came up with Elvis Costello on the EP Shipbuilding. And
Shipbuilding.
so that was quite a welcome break, and that was quite a joy to do because we had really good musicians playing on that
Yeah.
EP, and we had such good fun doing it as well. And in a way, some of the musicians that played on it weren't into Elvis Costello until I
Right.
actually persuaded them. Well, I'm sorry, but you can't tell me this isn't good.
No,
You know,
definitely not. Yeah, yeah.
sort
But
of
as
thing.
soon as I heard that single, it was a fabulous single as well, a great cover there. And of course,
Yeah.
was it there was somebody else that did it before Elvis, wasn't there? I'm sure, I can't remember who it was.
Yeah. Robert Wyatt. Robert
Robert
Wyatt. Is it?
Wyatt. That's right.
Yeah.
You're right there.
And
Yes.
he got in touch
Yes.
with me, and he said to me that my version was his most favorite version, even though he'd done
Yes.
it. And I said to
Wow.
him, "Your version was my favorite version,"
Yes.
which
Yes.
is
Yes.
weird, isn't it? It's
It
weird
is.
how things like that turn out because it's true. His version was the one that I really liked a lot. I
Yes.
love the song, full stop,
Yeah.
and I love the fact that that song is so wonderful, and the Elvis Costello and I think it's Clive. I can't remember his name now, but the pair of them did that
Yeah.
song, wrote that song. It's a wonderful song, and so it humbles you when other people who you admire also say, "Oh, you did a good job. You did a really good job with that." And Elvis himself said that I did a good job with All Grown Up, and that I'd owned that song,
Yes.
and so I was delighted about that because I felt that I had a real connection with All Grown Up, that song. I'd always
Yeah.
sung it before recording this on the EP, and I always felt like it was a great song. So that's why I chose it to be on the EP.
And yeah, and when
Um,
your version has got more emotion to it, because when you hear your vocal there, it's believable, very
I
believable.
think I think it's because it's I think perhaps it's because he's singing from a perspective of a woman's. He's looking at a woman or a girl experiencing these things. I'm
Yes,
looking at perhaps relating to those things because I am a girl. I am that sort of. I can feel that
yes,
kind of where you feel jaded and all the words that he uses. You can
yes.
feel jaded
The emotions.
by when you're young about relationships that you've had, and you can hate the person that you used to love, and all of the lyric lines in that I could relate to it as being a teenage girl
Right.
back in the day. And
Yes.
so that's probably what gave it a bit more maybe um weight, if you like. I don't know, but he was very happy with it, and so I'm happy that he was happy.
Yeah. Beautiful when you go, when we should be diving for pearls. Beautiful.
Yes, yeah. And you see,
Beautiful.
he's such a great writer. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't even remember any song of his that he's done that I've listened to that I've thought, nah, I don't like that.
No.
I like them
Wow.
all
Yeah.
because they've all got depth, and they've all got melody, and they've all got attitude, and they've all got some kind of interesting thing to listen to. And to me, that's what makes good songs.
Yeah. 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 Especially with lovely lyrics and, a nice
Yeah,
connection that you've got with
yeah.
it as well.
And
Now,
Alan Clark, who
yeah,
played the keyboards on that, or the piano on
right.
that, he we did like a version of it on the Richard and Judy show,
Wow.
all grown, and it was just me and him. And I was so taken aback by how wonderfully that man plays, Alan Clark.
Yeah.
He used to be in the band Dire Straits.
Right. Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Alan Clark, and he is from the Northeast. I'm sure of it. I think he's
Right.
from the
Right.
Northeast as well.
One of
He
Mark
just
Knopfler's friends.
Yes, yes, and just such a wonderful, wonderful, just a wonderful musician, and I'll never forget it. I'll never forget that time, and I always try to find that clip of
Yes.
that
Yes.
performance because he was so magnificent when he played it. I was just
Absolutely beautiful.
honored really to be singing it with him in that
Yes.
way, very stripped down, just me and him. It was great.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Now you followed up the singles In Your Care, Lords of the New Church, and Ariane. They were all UK top 40 hits. And out of all the hits and songs from the album, I must ask you, which song is your favourite, and which song would you recommend new listeners that are discovering Tasmin Archer to hear from Great Expectations?
Oh, right. Um, I don't know, because it's hard for me to have favorites. I really don't ever sort of think in terms of favorites. I
Hmm.
think in terms of what I like at that time or what mood I'm in at that time. So I never really put anything in a favorite bracket. I always try to put it in context of how I feel and what I like about it.
Yeah.
And I like all of them. I like all of them in so many different in so many different ways. But if nobody has heard this album, are you saying I can recommend one song from the album?
That's right. Just to say, this is the one that you've definitely got to listen to because it's going to give you that nice feeling inside, like I got when I sung it.
It's got to be Sleeping Satellite. It's
Sleeping
got to be.
Satellite. Excellent.
Yeah, it's got to
Excellent.
be. Because it's bigger than an intimacy. It's bigger than just um it's I don't know, it's just got this epicness about it and it's got this most inclusiveness about it.
Yeah.
Of all the tracks on the album, this has got this thing which says everyone's in on this thing,
Yeah.
whatever this
Yeah.
thing you feel is.
Yes, it's got nice togetherness there, as
Yeah,
it were. Yes.
yeah.
All
So
the
I think
magic
that
is
that's
there.
what, yeah, the magic's there and it includes everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Beautiful.
I'm sorry about
Beautiful. Beautiful
that.
choice there.
Yeah,
Yes, get yourself comfortable there because I'm
I
going to
will, I
ask you
will.
this
I'm getting
one.
comfy.
You're getting comfy. Yeah. You haven't got a bad back yet.
Not yet.
Now, not yet. Now we're going to
Not
move on
yet.
to Ariane, which was an
Yeah,
interesting song, if you don't mind me
yeah,
saying. I mean, what
yeah.
was the idea to reverse the lyrics towards the end of the song? And because I actually had I've got the 7-inch single on the shelf there somewhere, and I actually took the belt off the
Yeah.
turntable so I could
Mm,
rewind it to see if there was
mhm.
some kind of a secret message in there.
No, no, I think it's just that was an idea of one of the one of the co-producers on that album.
Right,
So there was there was Julian Mendelsohn who did the whole of the album, but he also
yeah,
had, because Paul Wickens had to sort of cut it short halfway through the album, he had to go back and work with Paul
right.
McCartney.
Oh, right,
So
my
Julian was
goodness.
looking, yeah. So Julian was looking for another sort of co-worker that
Right,
could help him in the on the sides that Paul Wickens had actually worked on. Um, so then Peter Kay came in,
right,
American guy, and came in and started work on Lords of the New Church and on Arian, he was on that one. And his
right.
idea was to just perhaps do something that had that backwardsy type sound. I think it was
Yeah,
him that had it, but I could be wrong. But yeah, I think he's just taking the thing that's going forward from my vocals, some
yeah,
words that I'm singing in the vocal in the main line, and he's
yeah.
just made it go
That's r- that's
like
right.
it's
You sing
going.
it.
Mm.
Ariane, I realize something not in your favor. Oh, you
Yeah,
know the lyrics. You know what I mean.
yeah, catch you when you fall, and then
But yeah, so
and
I
then it
made
goes
that
into the
bit.
mid, and then it goes into the mid section. Da 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 da
That's
da.
right.
That bit.
Yeah.
It sounds like split my celery rock or something. That's what I was thinking, saying split my celery rock.
Hi,
I
it's
feel I feel like I'm just making up the lyric.
that's right. It's
And then yeah, yeah. So you've got it going. It's got it going backwards. I think that's what's
yeah,
happening.
yeah, yeah.
And
It's hilarious. Yeah,
yeah, so that it just creates a kind of an atmosphere in that bit,
yeah,
which is like more dreamy like, which is good, really. When I heard it, I thought, oh, that's a good idea.
yeah. But you maybe have been unsure what it actually said.
I was unsure what they were saying. He might have told me at the time that which one he was working on to do that, but I can't
Yeah, yeah,
remember. There
yeah.
was not that much going on at that time, and I was
That's
and
right.
I was probably doing getting geared up to do more backing vocals on other tracks and things like that.
Exactly.
So It's usually
exactly.
everybody's working and on specific things, and then they all come
Yeah.
together. And yeah,
Yeah, everyone working on different tracks and such like for their album. Now, you are nominated for 3 Brit Awards in 1993, including Best Breakthrough Artist, Best British Female Solo Artist, and also for Best Video. Now, in the Breakthrough Artist category, you are nominated alongside Dina Carroll, KWS, Take That, and Undercover. What was it like winning the award and having it presented to you by Lenny Kravitz and being nominated alongside these other debutants?
well, it's obviously an honor to be actually even nominated. So I think at the time, because we were actually performing on that day, and so I don't know, we were out there. Doing the rehearsal for it to get the cameras right and everything before doing the recording proper for the
Right.
TV show. And I remember thinking at that time, thinking, "Oh my God, we're actually here. We're going to be performing live." And I don't know. When it came to the time, I just managed to keep myself together and
Yeah.
just do it. Because I'd watched it, like I say, most of my childhood life and
Yeah.
teen life, I'd been watching Top of the Pops, and here I was. So it was a big deal for me.
Yeah.
And the more I thought about it in terms of that, I'd actually get very wobbly legs.
Yes, I bet. I bet.
So,
In front of the crowd as well, a big crowd.
so I tried not to think about it and just focus on the actual performance, and that was it. And I think that's what you do anyway. So, but then when it came to get the award, I think I was stood behind the stage, and I'd been told that I was going to get the award, and I had to go
Mhm.
behind the stage to wait to come up.
Yeah.
And I was behind the stage with Vic Reeves, and I think there was Mick Hucknall there, and
Right. Wow.
and Lenny Kravitz was there, and they were all just hanging about. I didn't know that Lenny Kravitz was going to give me the award. I just saw him
Right.
hanging about on the thing, and it only sort of dawned on me when I sort of like went up and was getting the award, and he was there,
Yeah.
sort of thing. So yeah, and I remember thinking, God, you're tall. You're like a wizard.
Yes. That's
He was
right.
like a
With
wizard,
his
and I was
hair
like a
as
hobbit.
well.
I was like a little hobbit of
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings, you know. And I was like thinking, this must look very strange.
On the telly. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I just felt like the Hobbit, and he was like the wizard or something, you know. And
Excellent.
it made me
Excellent.
chuckle, because it made me chuckle, and it kind of like took the nerves away a little bit as well,
Yeah.
because I was thinking about that, and then I was thinking, I'm actually here, but I feel as if I'm not. I feel like I'm, because at that time, around about that time, there was Twin Peaks, weren't they, on the TV a lot,
Yeah. Yeah.
which was a surreal series by David Lynch,
Yeah.
and I felt a little bit like that. It just felt, and I told people what was on my mind. I said, I feel a bit like I'm
Yeah.
on Twin Peaks, blah, blah. I mean, what else can I say but what's on my mind?
That's right.
And I
That's right.
accepted it. And I accepted it. And I said, oh, it's like getting an award for something like this is an honor. It's a real
Yeah.
honor. But there are more important things in life, because there's a lot of people with suffering. And I just felt other things were on my mind to be
Yes.
important at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't really mean that I was ungrateful or anything like that
No,
for
no.
for the award. I just felt it's nice to get things like this, but it's more important to me to think about what's going on in the world and how
Yeah.
we can do things that change that.
Of
That's
course.
how I
Of
felt at
course.
the time.
Yes. Yes. And of course, you had Richard O'Brien there as well. He's quite tall, isn't he?
Yes, he's quite so I was surrounded by these characters that were off some kind of movie, something out of Lord of the Rings. I felt,
That's right.
I was
You're
a
in the
little
middle
hobbit.
there.
I was a little hobbit, and there was whatever Gandalf and what have you, you know.
That's right. Oh, I love it. I love it. Now, following on from that award, you also received an MTV US nomination for Best Alternative Artist category for the video Sleeping Satellite after the song's success in the UK and other international markets. Did you go to America for the award ceremony?
Can I stop you there? The
You
MTV
can.
Awards. The MTV Awards was for In Your Care.
Right,
That was for best video, something like that. It
right,
wasn't for best artist or best band. It was something like to do with best video, something alternative
right.
music video.
Yes,
Because that was quite an alternative type of song. It was quite edgy, and the video was quite edgy, and so therefore I can understand why it would be in that category. So yeah, I was
yes.
quite thrilled that it was even nominated. But yeah, at the end we lost out to Stone Temple Pilots. So it
Oh,
was good. It was a great
goodness.
evening because there were people performing there. There was Neil Young
Wow.
performing with sorry, I forget what the name of the band was now. But Neil Young was performing on that evening, and there was
It wasn't the
Aerosmith.
Wildflowers. I probably got that wrong.
No, it
No.
was
No.
the guy who sung Jeremy Spoken. You know
Oh, yes,
Jeremy
yes,
song.
yes. Right, right.
I
I
forget
remember.
the name of the band. I forget the name of the band. But anyway, he was performing with Neil Young, it was a great performance, and I think Madonna was performing also, and we were right
Wow.
up front. Actually, we were right near the front of the stage, and just across from me was Nirvana's lead singer.
My goodness gracious me.
Yeah,
So you had Kurt Cobain there.
yeah. Kurt Cobain was sitting just across from us, so we were
Wow.
like thrilled to be there. It was just nice to actually be so close up to see the people performing.
Yeah.
It was a great evening. It was a really good evening, and we enjoyed it very much. And we actually after the show, there were all sorts of people there mulling around. I think even Sting was there, and
My goodness.
lots of people there.
Yeah.
And we actually sort of gravitated to what's his name now? Uh, oh yeah, it's gone. He's a presenter on TV, and he presents sort of like sort of celebrity type of people going on there.
Right,
His name
right,
escapes me.
right,
But anyway, me and John sort of like we all gravitated towards him because he's from England, and if I
right.
can remember his name, which has gone out of my head totally, um, it'll come back, I think, and
Yeah.
maybe when I finished. And so we all us English people just gravitated together and chatted all night, all the whole night through, sort of thing.
It wasn't
So
that
that's
guy
what we
that's
did.
on. It wasn't the guy that's on Good Morning Britain. Thingy King?
No, no, no.
No.
He 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 does all kinds of stuff. He's into sort of like
It wasn't like Andy Peters.
no, 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 no,
No.
no. His
I'm
name
just
his
I'm
name
just
doesn't
clutching
no,
I'm just
I
clutching
can't
at
remember his
straws.
name. I can't remember his name now. It's
Right.
just gone.
But he was a show
Um
busy guy, but you
he's a
gravitated towards
presenter
him.
of shows,
Yeah, yeah.
TV shows. A bit like what's he called? Um I can't remember anybody, can I? Jonathan Ross, that's it. He's
Jonathan
just come
Ross.
back.
Oh wow. Yes,
Yeah, Jonathan Ross
excellent.
and his wife. Jonathan Ross
Right.
and his wife, we kind of like was chatting with them all night
Yeah.
after the show, having drinks and stuff. So it was a really pleasurable night. It was good.
Lovely. Yes,
Yeah.
Jonathan Ross. I bet you he had a lot of stories to tell as well.
Yeah, yeah. I can't remember half of them though.
No, I bet, yes.
Probably
Well,
had a few. I probably had a few drinks.
probably enjoyed the free bar there. Yes, yes. But yes,
Perhaps, yes, as
yes.
we
See,
all would.
so yeah, of course, you've got to
Yeah,
soak it up. Yes, especially at that wonderful occasion as well. Now,
yeah.
another award which I'm going to mention is after your nomination there for In Your Care, which was for the MTV US Awards. You received the RSH Gold Award in Germany for
That's
Power
right. Yeah,
Groove of the Year. Was that a
yeah.
radio award?
I believe it is. Yeah, I'm not sure because when I was there, I wasn't even right sure what the award was for because I think we were
Yeah,
out there doing a lot of promotion at the time. So I wouldn't quote me on this. You probably know. I'd have to look it up. But the awards and things, I just don't keep them out on display, and I don't look at them every
right,
day. And I don't
right.
take much notice of awards. I just think
No, no.
I try to just get on with what I'm
Yeah.
doing, and move on.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the award there, I had to do my research for that one because
Well,
I looked up
you've
so
got
many
an excuse. You
avenues.
weren't there.
I looked up so many avenues and then I found it. Power Groove of the Year. So now we know what that was. I thought that sounds
Right.
very radio-esque. Here's the
Well, it
Power
might
Groove
have
of the
been.
Year.
I do remember receiving the award because I remember another moment of Lord of the Rings situation because
Right,
there's pictures of myself and the presenter of the awards. So there's a lady and another fella, and
right.
he was like another 7 foot, 8 foot tall bloke.
Was
So
it a bit
I think I might have been, I think I may have reached his knee or something like that.
was it a
It was
bit
that
like
tall.
was it a bit like when it's Mick Fleetwood of Fleetwood Mac and Samantha Fox where he's
Yes,
up there
yes,
and
and
Samantha Fox is just
Even Mick Fleetwood and the lead singer, one of the young lasses in the group as well, because she's quite small,
Stevie
isn't
Nicks.
she?
Was it
Yeah,
Stevie
Stevie
Nicks?
Nicks is
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
delicate and small, yeah.
Yes,
So yeah,
dainty.
there are tall giants out there, and they seem to be magnetized and coming to me all the time,
That's right. Especially when you're getting an award.
especially when I'm getting an award. So next
So watch
time.
this
I'm gonna
space.
so next time, if I'm going to get an award, I'm going to ask, how tall is he?
That's right. Yeah. Can I borrow a box then? Just keep it out of
Yes, or
shot.
can I have a box, please? Yes, like some
That's
people do
right.
on movies.
Or maybe some platforms.
Or
There
some
you go.
platforms, yeah, that would have been better, apart from the fact that you can't walk in them.
No,
So
and you could be
I like
clomping on the
bricks.
stage there. You know, what's
Yes.
that noise? The sound man there in the gallery going, why is that noise coming from?
It's
Oh, it's
so
Tasman's
it's
shoes.
just Tasman's shoes.
Great.
I'll look
I
out
love
for
it.
some of them then. I'll have to carry them around with me.
Yeah, well, yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Yes, in your backpack there. Just on standby, mind. Now,
Yeah, just on standby.
now in 1996, you released your follow-up album, Bloom, which you mentioned earlier there, recorded at Peter Gabriel's Real World Studios, and it was mixed at Sunset Sound in Los Angeles and was produced by Mitchell Froome, which was critically acclaimed. Now, the album was ready in early 1995, but a
That's
delay
right.
on the release and a disagreement with the record label ensued.
Yeah,
Please, can you tell us what happened next? Because this
yeah,
was a real bombshell, as it were.
drama. Yeah,
Drama.
it was finished in 1995, and we we'd been chatting to EMI people right throughout the process from the time we chose to work with Mitchell Froome and Chad Blake, and they were very agreeable with that, and
Mhm.
they'd even come to hear the record when it was finished, and we'd had a little bit of a meet and greet and things like this, and so when we handed the record over, the completed record, the finished article to EMI,
Mhm.
something had changed at EMI. The personnel had changed, and the new people, they wanted to change things, and we weren't. In short, we were willing to do that. We were happy with how the record sounded, and we were happy with what Mitchell Froome and Chad Blake had done with the album, sound wise, arrangement wise, everything. And so we dug our heels in and refused to change anything. And I think that kind of soured our relationship. So
Mhm.
from then on, things weren't the same. And I think they sat on it for such a long time. And I understand that they wanted something more commercial, perhaps a Mark II, Great Expectations Mark II. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how it is. It's the business side of everything. But we wanted to expand our horizons and just experiment with things and perhaps make something a bit more organic and different. And
Yeah.
so that's what we wanted to do, and that's what we wanted, and that's what we presented them. And they didn't feel the same way. The new personnel didn't feel the same way. The old personnel who accepted it as it was when it was finished had gone. And so
Wow.
it was just a matter of timing. It was just one of those things, and no bad feelings about that. That's how it is. And we parted ways. And so in
Wow.
1997, we thought, well, we'll have a break. And because I by that time I was just sick of being treated like a commodity, and fed up with the music industry, the music
Yeah.
side of the business. I mean, the business
The
side of the
business side.
music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. All
I'd had
like
enough of
you.
that. And yeah, I think I was just disillusioned by it. And so we just took a bit of time away. Initially, we thought we'd just have a couple of months off and see how we go. But it turned out to be longer. And then when I felt like getting back into doing some more writing, I experienced a bout of writer's block. And so
Yeah.
I've never experienced anything like that before. And I
No.
just thought, well, I'm gonna have to work through it and find out what it's first of all, find out what it is and why it happens, and then find out the solutions to work through that. And
Yeah.
one of the ways is to express yourself through other mediums like drawing and all of that kind of stuff, and clay, molding clay, and
Yeah.
just living your life, just getting on with it. And we joined. We just got our season tickets to the Sunderland football
Oh, yes.
situation.
Yes.
We started going to the football, and we had a season ticket. We had our season tickets, and so we just worked through that way. And eventually, things cleared, and I could get back to work, and things were coming through. And so we started writing again, and then hence we came up with our own independent release, which we set up this independent label to release our own
Yeah.
music, and that would do it that way. That way we wouldn't feel restricted or be doing music by committee or anything like that. So we wanted the power back in our hands, if you like, and so that's what we did. And we
Of
wrote
course.
on our third studio album, and we had to learn how to market it. We had to learn how to record and get the best sounds that we could in the sort of situation that we were in, which was a small home studio, so that we could make it sound very professional.
Yes.
And there was just
Yes.
me, John Hughes again, my long-term partner and co-writer, and that's what we did. And we produced on and put it out ourselves, and it did okay actually. But even now, though, people are starting to discover it now, and which is vindicating really, because now people will hear it, and lots of people like it. So a new
That's right.
audience now.
And we're going to
Yeah,
talk about that album as well in a moment from now, because what I'm going to mention
yeah,
now is that going back to the album Bloom, I personally think
yeah,
that the album has got some great and amazing tracks on it, including One
yeah,
More Good Night with the Boys, I Like It
yeah,
So, and He Made a
yeah,
Fool of Me, to name but a few.
yeah.
Now, did you have any of these singles on the cards for release from the album Bloom at the time? As it certainly is commercial, and I'm
Yeah.
unsure what the executives were thinking on hearing the album and asking for something different. I mean, did
Yeah.
they actually listen to the album?
Well, I think the first people that we were with and worked with throughout the album and the
Hmm.
finish of the album, they saw that vision. They were willing and open to that.
Yeah,
It's just when the personnel changed, and I think they wanted to put their stamp on it, and they
yeah,
didn't have their stamp on it, you see, because it was finished, and they wanted us to go back and do things differently and make something else or write something else, and we weren't going to do that. We were really going to be, we were just determined that that was going to be it, and so it didn't match the way that they felt about it. But I think that the first people that we were working with at EMI saw that vision, yes, and I think there would have been a lot more happened with it. But it wasn't, granted, it wasn't as commercial sounding as the first album, but that's intentional. I mean, as an artist, you want to have longevity, and you won't always have these massive hits all the time. You will have times when it's not as big or as popular.
Yeah.
And we accepted that, and I think that the first group of people that we were with, that were with us throughout Bloom, actually felt the same way. And it's just so happens that that didn't turn out that way because, like I said, the personnel changed, and I think that they just had their mind set on wanting a hit. And I think that that was their prerogative, in because it is a business, it's a music
Yeah.
business, and I appreciate that. But as an artist, I think I need to have growth and space, and
Yeah.
they weren't prepared to stick with us in that respect. So we parted ways, and that's it. End
Because
of.
I could find a lot of songs on there when I've listened to the album before coming to speak to you today, and those songs that I've pointed out there. Obviously, you did release the One More Good Night with the Boys, but I like
Yeah.
it so. I mean, that one there is just magic, and you could go, well, the stuff that was in the charts at the time that could definitely have competed with what was out there, and you would have had a top 10 there, if not a number one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that they didn't put any push behind it, so I mean, it wasn't going to flourish, and but people who have heard Bloom now, after not knowing much about it because there wasn't much promotion about it or
No.
any, you know, um, they come back to me and they tell me that they love this track from that album, and
Yeah.
why wasn't it this? Why was yeah. Well, I've got no answer to that. All I've got
No.
is that we made it and put it out the way that we wanted it, and it's on them to actually either do something with it or don't, and they didn't. So it's just the way it is, and you know, I've got no grudge against any of those
No.
sorts of situations. I understand it's a music business, so
And it's
yeah,
whoever's in charge, it's their decision, isn't it? But
it
it
is
was a
their
wrong
decision.
decision. It's a wrong decision as far as I say, because I'm
From
independent
my
there.
point of view, it's a wrong decision. I think that they could have had time. But if they don't see it, they don't see it. It's
No.
different if you don't, if you're all going and pulling in the same direction, it works out. If there's
Yeah.
somebody that isn't within that situation, then it's bound to have problems
That's
going
right. The shock
forward.
effect.
Yeah, so it's not going to work out. So even if they'd have put it out and we'd have sort of stayed with them, I think it would have sort of the trust in them trusting us was
Yeah.
gone, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, uh, but it was a great shame. But the album, you've got to listen to it there. Bloom, get a copy of it right now. Now, the album, as you say, didn't get the promotion it needed, hence not hitting the heights of Great Expectations success. But I think it should have a fresh new release, as it sounds good, if not better, than some albums currently around today. What is your favorite song from the album?
I don't even know if I have a favorite. Like I say, I think it's just that moment where you feel a certain way in time,
The
you
energy.
know. Yeah, the energy of that of the time that you're feeling it, and it
Yeah,
was right for us to put One More Good Night with the Boys because it had kind of like a broad spectrum of who it could reach and who it could touch,
definitely.
for many different reasons. For me, um, I always enjoyed the tone of breaking my back
Yes,
because of the soul in it, and the kind of rawness of it, and because it's just not too many frills on
no,
that one. It's just very kind of from a perspective of somebody who's had enough of trying to please others, and
yes,
not actually pleasing themselves, and it had all of that. I guess I was feeling that too. Um, and so that song kind of resonates with me now more
Yeah.
so. So yeah.
Now, what are the most requested songs out of your whole catalogue when you're on tour?
What's our requested songs when we're on tour? Well, obviously, Sleeping Satellite is the first one.
Yes, yes.
I think a lot of people in different places in the world like different tracks off our albums, and I think another one which is surprising to me was Somebody's Daughter. A
Right.
lot of people seem to like that one because it's a tempo type beat.
Yeah.
It's got that kind of Fleetwood Mackie type flavor about it, even though I wasn't thinking of that when I was doing it.
Yeah.
And I think also I don't know, I think some people really like In Your Care to hear that because I
Yes,
think
it is beautiful.
it makes them feel very I don't know, it makes them feel
It's a
compassionate about certain things.
That's right. It's
And
got a
like,
bit of a cozy feeling to it as well.
yeah,
Like,
they they
you
they,
know what I mean?
they feel a compassion and a draw to feeling that emotion of care for somebody.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that's a good I don't know, I think that's a good thing to have, that commitment to feeling compassion for others that perhaps going through a hard time or something like that,
Yes.
which it's always needed. And at time, I think when people were shouting out, they'd shout out Lords of the New Church or Halfway to Heaven. There's a lot of people liked to hear that.
Right.
Um, we didn't do a whole heap of touring for Bloom, so it's really not easy to know gauge how much that would have been shouted for.
Right.
But we did do some tours for when we were touring with Bloom, and it went down really well. A lot of people liked it. Like you say, I like it so. A lot of people liked that,
Yeah.
and and obviously one more good night with the boys. There's a few
Yeah.
others that people like on there. It's just look, I kind of like them all, so
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I will do one. I mean, if I ever listen to them again, I just think all of them have a different flavor. It's just like how we make music, how we've got
Yeah.
this music as well. It's just I have so many flavors of genre of
Yeah.
mood and all of that that come into play when we write
Yes.
songs
Yes.
and how we put them together. They're like a story. They're akin to having a book and the chapter in the book when you turn it. And that's why I like to listen to a whole album. If I like an
Yes.
artist, I'll listen to the whole album because I
Yeah.
like to travel with them through their emotion and see um, what observations they've made in life and that I could actually feel that helped me or,
Yes.
I could be enlightened by or, things that I haven't thought about and that I'm made aware of. That's what music is. Music is, if you're an artist or, musician, whatever it is, it's our job or our responsibility to, you know, I don't know, to write the music that dictate that you can see in your times, the things that are happening in your time from
Yeah.
your perspective, and just to be authentic and honest about it. And that's all you can do and put your heart and soul into it.
That's right.
So yeah,
Maybe be an inspiration to someone, or maybe a shoulder to cry on. Because when you
yeah,
put a CD on or
yeah.
a song on, it can help you through any
It does
situation that you
uplift you,
have
doesn't
going on
it?
in
I
your
mean,
life.
yeah, music is to me like a medicine, really.
Yeah.
I want to go and listen to something that I feel like maybe a Sam Cooke, Bring It On Home
Yeah.
to Me.
Wow.
That has a kind of, I know that sounds like it's a romantic song, but to me,
Hmm.
it sounds like all the people and all of the situations who have been left behind,
Yes.
you know,
Definitely.
to don't leave. It's like a cry to say, don't leave me behind, don't leave them behind, you
Yeah.
know.
Yes.
Embrace
Yes.
everything with a loving intention. I think that's the main thing in that song that I get. So uplifting. I just swell with it. It just makes
Yes.
me feel
Yes.
like that. There's What's Going On by Marvin Gaye.
Oh,
That
beautiful.
that
Yes.
does the same
Beautiful.
thing to me. And and that feeling is like it's not of scarcity. It's of like a total abundance. It's like total filling, a filling up
Yes, it
of
is.
one's inner.
Very emotional, especially with
Yeah,
is it a clarinet? At the start. And then he goes,
yeah, yeah. Oh, it's
you know,
beautiful. It's beautiful.
isn't
The
it?
flavors in that is just.
Wow.
It's like a good dish, isn't it? It's like a good meal or something
It
that you've
is.
got and it just
All
makes
the
you feel
ingredients
good.
are in there. That
Yeah, all
fills
the
it.
ingredients. Yeah, how can I explain it? It's just everything that's all the colors are in there, all the shades, everything's in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And include and it's the main thing about it, it includes everyone. It never
Yes.
excludes anyone. I like songs that include everyone and they don't
Yeah.
exclude anyone.
Yes. Yes. Aye. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Now we're going to go back to the major changes in personnel at EMI, which, of course, shook the relationship with the label further, and they chose not to exercise their contract option in 1997. Now, disillusioned with being treated as a commodity, as you mentioned, in the music business, the Archers writing team decided to spend a couple of years away from writing and recording, and unexpectedly, the break was longer than planned, as you mentioned, largely due to your writer's block. Once it was overcome, the writing and recording light was certainly on for the album On, which was produced in renewed optimism and became clear in some of the song's lyrics. And On was produced and recorded, as you mentioned, and mixed by John Hughes, Ed Archer, and Hughes Project Studio, and independently released in 2006 on the Quiver Disc label. Which was set up for this purpose. Now, what was it like going back in the studio and releasing the album independently without the sometimes commercial pressures of being signed with a major label player?
I think initially I think what we really realized from the start is that we could take our time. We could we could actually and also we were responsible for any of the any mistakes that we made along the way, and so we were going to be prepared to um, learn from those as well in regarding marketing and things like that, because we didn't really know, we didn't have all the contacts that we used to have, and we didn't have the finances that we had, we didn't have the
No,
backing. um, Now, to get your record player you have played on radio at that time, it was still about the pluggers and people
the
like
pluggers.
that, and I'm sure it's still in a way there are gatekeepers still in this situation,
Yeah,
and we just had to work around that. We had to budget where we were going to put the money to either get a plugger on board and do that kind of go that route with it as well. We had to get somebody to help us with making a little video to go along with the release of the album. I
yes,
mean, the song, single. And so we did a couple of videos with a young student, art student at that time, or um, art and film student who we got in
right.
touch with and wanted to work with us. And so we sort of wrote out a plan of what we wanted to show in the, like a show reel or something like that
Yeah,
in what we wanted to show in the video, and worked with this young lad, and I worked with him on two of the songs. So yeah, so we had to get people on board. We had obviously to pay people. You can't
yes.
just ask them to do it for nothing,
No,
and
no.
you can.
Would
It
be
probably
nice.
just yeah, you can, but
There's
it'd
a
probably
glass of
be off.
orange juice.
Plus, we had some musicians on the. We had Bruce Thomas who came and worked with us
Wow.
on that album as well, because we're good friends. He's worked on a couple of the
Right.
other stuff that we've got to come still in the
Right.
pipeline.
Yes.
Um, and so yeah, we had to work around certain things that we probably would have had the record companies sort out for us, if you like. But then once they um, have that bit of job to do, then they feel that they have the kind of the step, the mark into your area of expertise,
Right.
which is writing and recording. I don't know about
Yeah.
expertise. It's the only word I can think of. And so, so yeah, so we had to do a lot of it on our own, and the sleeves to the cover. We had to find master to get people to master it. Um, we didn't release any vinyls or anything like that. It was just CD
CDs.
and streaming.
Yeah.
Um, and we did have our own sort of merchandise. So we had to learn a few things on that side of it, and also on the side of producing the album as well, because that was a
Yes.
steep learning curve, setting up things, making sure the sound quality was good. Um, and so, yeah, it was tough. So after that, we just felt we'll take a break and we'll think about what
Yes.
we're going to do, whether we're going to release another album. Is it worth it to actually do something like that or not? And during that time, as you probably will ask me later on,
Yeah.
we kind of like looked at other areas and started thinking about perhaps not releasing any more Tasmin Archer albums.
That's right. That's right. Now, how was the album on accepted by your fans? As you have mentioned, it seems to be a grower for fans even today.
Yeah, it's a grower even today because actually because I'm some more prominent now and I'm putting myself out there more, and so people are more aware now as well. And you've got more platforms than you used to have, so it's gone 100%
Yeah.
shot up in different areas that now that artists themselves are getting sort of like having to do a lot of their own pushing and promoting.
Yeah.
Unless they've got a big machine behind them, they still have to do a lot of it.
Yes.
There's a lot of platforms out there. There's a lot of things that people have to do, not to mention performing and doing other live work and what have you. So it's still as full on as you would be with a big label. But even with a small label, yes, you can pick and choose what you do, but um, I guess doing it ourselves like this time round is you've got more opportunities, I guess. And I
Yes.
suppose because people know or have heard of me, I get a little bit of leeway of being able to go out and talk to people about what I've got going on now.
Yes, of
Um,
course.
but at that time, it was a little bit different, and it was new to us how we were going to go
Yes.
about doing this. So we had a little bit of time to work out and strategize how we were going to approach putting this one out. And
Yeah.
it's worked out a little bit. It's more organized, if you like. It's more
Yes.
organized than it was before because we were still scratching around in the dark of how we were going to promote on.
Of
So,
course.
yeah.
Of
But
course.
people are discovering it now because of a new lease of me coming out with a new album. I think people are now having a look at that obscure, the one that maybe passed people
The one that
by,
got
and
away, as it were. Yes, of course.
yeah,
Yes, but it
and now they're going to discover it alongside a new one. I
exactly, and
think
they'll be looking for all of your material as well. I mean,
yes.
you've mentioned there in 2010, there was a lot of changes there with life priorities changing and musical
Mhm,
projects diversifying the
mhm,
decision,
mhm.
which was made to not release any more Tasman Archer albums. And your
Yeah,
work actually has never stopped, building up a large catalogue of songs, which has culminated in the release of your
yeah.
brand new album, A Cauldron of Random Notes, which certainly
Mhm,
is kicking off with the stunningly catchy Vibration of Life. Um,
mhm.
I love the hypnotizing rhythm in it, and it certainly
Yeah,
does spark a vibration inside your soul. What was it like going
yeah.
back into the studio to record after 15 years?
Well, going back in the studio, we'd never sort of like stopped writing, as I said, even though during that
Yeah,
time, it was during the pandemic when we thought,
yeah,
let, we had no time really to take stock of what we'd been doing because we'd never stopped writing.
yeah,
We just weren't going to release anything. And when we had a look at what we had, we thought, oh, these are pretty good. Why not just finish some of them and see how we feel about it?
Yeah.
So we kind of like had a look and sorted out a few that we maybe made a plan then to start recording them proper. And
Right.
so going back in the studio, it's always going to be like the first time you're going back in a studio.
Yeah.
Most artists will understand what I mean. It's like you've never done it before.
It's like first day at school
Yeah, and
again.
also you just feel as if oh gosh, can I still do this? Can I do that?
Yeah.
You know, is it going to work? And you've got a lot going on because you
Yes.
feel as if it's the first time again. And
Yeah.
I didn't expect that at first because I've done so many. Well, it's like that. I suppose I'm like a memory, like a goldfish. I don't think a goldfish has got a bad memory, by the way.
Yeah. No, no.
But I think, I just thought I'd put that in there. But I think that,
I love it.
I think that every time you go into the studio, I think you are kind of concerned about um, many aspects of everything. You just want to make sure that you're doing the best possible job that you can do and
Yeah.
finding ways to do that because you're learning as well as you're going along because you're learning how to perhaps you're finding new instrumentations that you think work well with the things that you've put down already. If the song
Yes.
works as a rule, if the song works as it is without anything embellished around it, then that's a good sign for us. But we always experiment and look for ways to support the song and to support the lyrics. So
Right.
we spend a lot of time doing that kind of thing. So always kind of like investigating and then perhaps dissecting. And so we
Yeah.
may end up with like two, three versions of the same song, all done in
Yeah.
a different way. And so that takes time. So we didn't put ourselves under any pressure to do that. We just thought that is how we work.
Yeah.
And hopefully, at the end of the day, we get something that's cohesive and it has a feel, album wise, it has a good feel. And because there are so many different emotions and flavors going on in all of these tracks,
Yeah.
we want to make sure that they sit well together and that they have that vibe that's working well as a whole. Um, so yeah, it takes time, and we had like hundreds and hundreds of songs. I'm not kidding you. And
Right.
we thought, well, we whittled it down to 30 because we'd kind of like thought, all right, we're working specifically on these 30 songs, and
Yeah.
that's what we've got.
Yeah.
And out of those 30, we got together
Yeah.
these tracks that are on the album on a cauldron of random notes, and we thought
Yeah.
that they worked well, even though they are so diverse.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
work well together.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, with the vibration of life, did you start
yeah,
off with the because that's like it's like the song
yeah,
builds, which is
yeah.
very very unique in
Well, it
this day
does
and age,
sound.
because everything's
Mhm.
more normally straight into bomb. And when I first heard the
Yeah,
song, I was going, what's this new Tasmin Archer song going to be like? And it's going, and then all of a sudden it's you're doing all of the it's like changes a bit and you're
yes, it
really
does.
into it,
Yeah,
it's really
it
good
is
though because
epic,
it's
isn't it?
like
It's quite
it is,
epic,
it builds
and
to
yeah, it does.
crescendo.
It does, and that's purposeful. And we started off with a very lo-fi type sound, as if it was outside,
Right.
and it just very sort of a cappella type styly, even though it's
Yeah,
just a
yeah,
loose rhythm patterns
it
going
is.
on. Um, and we first started writing the song, I just had a chant when I was doing this. It wasn't there weren't
Yeah.
any lyrics to begin with
Right.
the chorus. And so yeah, it just builds up from there, and then it goes into coming into the when all the facts reveal, which is more of the um it's out of itself now. It's no longer in. And then
Yes.
starts to build even more, and then it goes into the middle eight, which is much more of a sort of a psychedelic type of situation going
Yes.
there,
Yes.
and more sort of um, more sort of like a I don't know, like a where you're sitting and you're doing meditation, if you like, and
Meditation.
you
Yes, you're in the zone.
it's like, yeah, so you're in the zone, in the meditation zone, in this in
Yes,
that area, in the psychedelic type
yes,
bubble, and
yeah,
then you're moving into coming out of that, and then it's rising and rising and rising until the end,
that's
until the
right.
emotions are just splurted out, which is the ad libs at the end, and
Yeah,
and obviously then back to the self and centeredness right at the end. So
yes,
it is a kind of
yes,
story that's going along within it. Although when it's chanting all of the things which are telling you that everything is vibration, and
that's
it's
right. That's right.
that message of everything is vibration. Everything is vibration. You know, it's all everything, the good, the
And
bad, the ugly. It's
it's got
all
all
in
of those,
there.
it's got all of those
Yeah.
theory kind of things on the walls there, as you're
Yes.
chanting there, as it were, as
Yes.
you're singing in the middle
Yes.
of the room
And
there.
that's a
Yeah.
bit. We did that video ourselves. That's our
Wow,
video
it's
that we had to
amazing.
produce ourselves. Yeah, we're very
Right?
proud of it. Very proud
It's
of it. And
amazing.
yeah, and it's like I say, we're doing it all. We're not,
Yeah.
we've not got anybody in to do it. It's just John. John's doing most of the heavy lifting, but I mean,
Right.
like I say, he's got that kind of he's got that all going on. So he
Yeah.
knows exactly how to make that vision come into reality, if you like. So
Yeah, the
yeah,
video certainly does tie in with the song there very, very well. So well done
yeah.
there to everyone involved there, and to you,
Well, thank you.
Tasmin, there for bringing that fantastic vibrational tune to life for us with Vibration
Thank
of
you.
Life. Now,
Yeah.
I mean, this is a common phrase that I use on this show, which I have with you, Tasman, in particular, because you'll be sick of us
Yeah.
saying it. Are there any particular tracks from your new album
Ah.
that are standout tracks that you are most proud of? Or are they all your
All right.
babies, as they would say?
Yeah, it's like I say, I have to people know this every time and time again, but I don't have any favorites. I just have things that I like for a certain um
The mood
emotion
and
and
whatever.
let
Yes,
me feel
yes.
in the moment.
Mm.
And um like I say, Vibration of Life is definitely a standout track on there. And for the second song of the album, which we will be releasing soon, is
Hmm.
called Segregation Seeds. And that
Right.
song has got a good message. And I want to push anything that makes people aware of things that we go through in life. And I think that at the moment there is a lot of divide and conquer going
Definitely.
on in,
Yeah.
in this in this time,
Yes.
and we just want to bring that to the forefront about that kind of thing. And so that's what segregation seeds is about. It's about how
Yes.
people use things to divide and conquer, and but don't let that happen.
No,
And
no.
hopefully that message in the song is not it's never dictated to people.
No.
We're not ramming a philosophy down anybody's throat. We're just stating things that we observe in life and humanity, and we hope that everybody else has a good feeling and a good vibe from the music that we put out there, and also finds it interesting and finds it uplifting and has some kinds of solutions in there as well.
So has
Just
it got
offer
lots of
them.
different flavors in this album?
Oh, the album has, yes, and I think that at the end, the last track off the album, Madam Joy,
Right.
is got it's got a flavour of it's got a bit of an undercurrent of a reggae in there. I
Right.
don't know if you know.
Lush.
I don't know if you know Steely Dan. They have a little bit of
I
reggae
do.
in one of especially one of my favorite songs. And when I say
Right.
favorite, I'm talking about one of the good songs that give me a good feeling.
Right.
I Ask Divorce. It's got a bit of a reggae flavor in there. It's not totally reggae. It's got rock in there. It's got a little bit of I don't know. When I was thinking of the song and came up with the song,
Yeah.
after I came up with it, I started thinking of Bing Crosby because it had
Right.
that it has that and nobody will ever believe that that's what it is, but that's
Right.
how my mind works, how I deliberately have a visual feeling of a certain time or a place or the
Yes.
kinds of people I heard when I was younger. And now
Like
I'm not going to
adopting
sound
that
like, and I'm
persona
not
kind
going,
of thing.
yeah, I'm not going to sound like him. I'm not, and it's not probably not something that he's sung or anything like that. But it just gives me that feeling of when I used to watch those musicals back in the day on, on the TV,
Yeah.
and he was in a lot of those musicals at the time, and just particularly just his way of singing, his way of
His
singing,
warmth.
and yeah, his way of singing
Yeah.
and expressing it in a certain way. Now, I don't sing it like him.
No, no, no,
Get me
right. Yeah,
wrong, I'm
yeah.
singing that song or anything, but that's the kind of vibe, color, flavor that is in
Yeah.
that song that I feel comes from me. And I don't know if you'll be able to tell, even if you go and listen to it
So
now.
when I listened,
It's
well, when I listened
interesting.
to
It's
it,
got an interesting layers. It's got interesting layers on that song.
right,
Madam Joy is about. It's about substance abuse. It's about
right,
how people will choose certain things to escape from
escape,
reality.
right,
Yeah, and that's what Madam Joy is about. And it's got that skip in its step. It's got that I'm going happiness about it. It's got that kind of um, dark undercurrent in there as well. But it's
right.
also dangers of consistently um, abusing
Yeah.
things in your life, and because it can only just be something then when you've finished it, when you've done with it, and you feel afterwards that you need to have that substance again. You need to have
Yes.
it. You're dependent upon it now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that is the shadow side of the song in there as
Yeah.
well. So it's not just all pretty. We have a juxtaposition with our songs. There are a lot of
Yeah.
things that go into it. I'll sing very sort of warm and I don't know, in my tone, it might be suggesting a more uplift. I have that uplifting part in there, but it
Yes.
may suggest that it's very merry and
Yes.
joyful,
Yes.
hence Madam Joy. And
Yes.
but underneath in the lyrics, we are talking about very dark subject matter, because that subject matter about substance abuse is ultimately a dark thing. It's a shadowy
Yes.
thing to have,
Yes.
So
Yeah.
but we don't keep it in one color. We have many colors and many flavors within that root, because you don't always just feel the one emotion or the one flavor in anything. There's always layers of hints of things in there.
Of course. Different vibrational notes.
Yes.
So I look
All of
forward
the
to
frequencies. Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
frequencies there. Yes. Yes. FM, AM, DAB, the whole lot.
Yes, they're all there.
I sound like a radio station.
It's
Great.
okay. I'll let you.
Actually, that could be the next title of your next album. Radio station.
Well, all right.
FM,
Well,
all the
I'll
flavors.
put it to
FM, AM. Have that all on the
I'll put it
cover.
to John. I'll put it to John, but I can tell you now it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Let's just
Just put it
save
on the
it.
shelf. We'll put it on
Yeah,
the
we'll put it
shelf.
on the shelf.
Yeah, well,
You
I
never
gather
know. I could
dust.
come back to you in about 20 years, and then I'll go, "Oh, do you know what? We actually used that."
That's right.
And then you'll
That's
be
a
like, "I
date,
told
Tasmin.
you.
That's a
I
date.
told you. I told you."
That's right. That's right. That's a date, definitely. Then, Tasmin, 20 years'
Uh,
time, we'll see what happened with that one then.
yeah, yeah.
Now, now going to something which is very, very close to your heart, which some listeners and viewers may not know about, that you're an ambassador for a very worthwhile
I am.
Northeast charity, and it's to do with
I am.
maybe kicking a ball. Can you tell us more about that, Tasmin?
Well, the charity that is it's the Foundation of Light charity, and they're like, well, they say on their website they're official charity of the Sunderland AFC, so
Yeah.
they're connected with them, and
Yes.
that is the connection because myself and John held season tickets for quite a few years. Let's put it that way. We had
Wow.
quite a few years.
Amazing. Yeah.
And like I was saying, and so I'm sort of like I kind of think of myself as an adopted Sunderland family member of,
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
football team, whatever, supporting the football team.
Yeah.
And John, when I first met John, he was obviously into football, and
Yeah.
he sort of like, phew, well, I guess he convinced me, to put it like, he
Right.
convinced me over time to start watching football, and I got into it that way, and so he
Yeah.
brainwashed me. And here I am today, a Sunderland football fan, and so because we went to the matches and everything, I think people had heard that I was a supporter of the football team, and
Right.
so the Foundation of Light people got in touch with me and asked me if I wanted to be an ambassador for the Foundation of Light
Wow.
charity and things. And I said, yeah, wow, yeah. What do I have to do? It's well, just speak about us and lend a hand and spread the word and all of that kind of
Yes.
thing. And I said, sure, because I know that the work that they do is so important. I mean, they they look after so many people in the Northeast in a wide range of ways. They older people, children,
Right.
education. Um, they do all kinds of things. They transport people places. They do
Wow.
so much. It's just amazing, really. I mean, people who really need it, really
Yeah.
need that support, that help. And I'm for that. I'm for anything that will help the situation of people who are perhaps even struggling or even just need a hand or pointing
Yes.
in the right direction. Um, because we need to keep people's dreams alive, and we need to let people know that we still care about them, no matter what they're doing or who they are. Um, we're not going to just ignore older people,
No.
like some people, uh, businesses do, or
Yes.
governments do
Hmm.
occasionally. You can't
Yeah.
just, you know, we're all in it together, and not like politicians when they say they're all in it together when they're not,
No.
or they say something and then they do a different thing. And as people in the community, we should be helping each other and trying to help each other out here. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that's important. It's a very important thing. So yeah,
So with that charity, is it something, have they got a website that people can go to? And how can
yeah,
people help with the charity as well? Because it does look like they do help a lot of people across the Northeast. And maybe some
yes,
person out there is watching or listening to this interview here on the radio there, Tasman. Please, can you tell us how they can access the service? And obviously,
yeah,
like I have mentioned, make a
yeah,
difference with the charity.
yeah. Well, they can go to the Foundation of Light website. Just put in the Foundation of Light, and they can go on there and they'll find out about all the charity work that they do and what kinds of events are happening that they could attend, maybe bring their kids to or whatever, or how they could help older people,
Right.
perhaps take them out on places, or maybe teach them nutritional advice and things like that. There's education there involved. They can get involved with things that are to do with the sport and related to the clubs.
Right.
So all of that is available, and they can actually donate any amount that they want to do, anything that they can do to help. All of that is on the website, and they've got a pretty, clear website to go and have a look at. It doesn't rant on about things; it just gets to the point in that respect. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
just check it out and see if you can just help out in whatever way you can. And everybody can't. I know that people can't even afford not much at all, but maybe they could go along to the place and get help. Maybe go on
Yes.
days out, things like that, which they couldn't afford to. I remember when I was younger, we couldn't afford to go anywhere for the summer holidays and things like that. So it just helps keep people interested in maybe just keeping their dreams alive and maybe just helping them, motivating them to become better. Because I had a youth center that I went to,
Right.
and that kept me out of trouble. That helped me connect with other people. Um,
Right.
so yeah, these foundations are so important. You know, they're just so important at the core and right at so they're the ones that are helping to maybe point people who are maybe lost or maybe just given up or need help. They need these people, and these people need to be um, helped as well. The foundation needs to be helped as well in whatever ways that they can, so that they can keep on helping other people. So if you can give. If you can't, then there's other ways of perhaps helping you to get out of maybe a hole that you're in, or not even that. Maybe even meeting people. Meeting people
Yeah.
might be a problem.
Yes. So everyone there, get yourself over to the Foundation of Light. If you do a search for that, and it'll say Sunderland AFC is associated with it, and you're in the right place where they can help you, and you can also help out as well. And thank you very much, Tasmin, for sharing that, the story about
My
that
pleasure.
charity with us.
Got to spread the word, and some people don't know about it. So anybody who needs it can actually maybe benefit from it. So yeah, if they're listening.
That's lovely. Thank you very much, Tasmin. You're doing great there, being a great ambassador for that charity there. Now,
Okay.
do you have any future projects coming up that you can tell us about?
Yes, we've got in the pipeline, we've got after this album's out, we've got like I say, we had all those songs, and
Yeah.
so we've got a few EPs in the pipeline and some more albums, and they'll be out as soon as this album has seen its course, which will
Yes.
probably so there will be no big huge gaps between releases. They'll be pretty successive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
excited about that, and there's a lot of work that goes into that as well. So in the prep to get those out, perhaps videos, and then there's the all the merchandise and things like that. And if I can also mention,
Yeah.
if anybody wants to find out anything about pre-saving the album or anything else like that, they can go on my website. It's tasminarcher.com. And also, whilst you're there, if you want to go and visit the shop, you can also enter a competition, and it's
Wow.
for two it's for two unique hand painted tambourines. So you can
Wow.
win one of those, and I will sign those for the winners. So if you want that, you can just enter the competition, and hopefully you'll win one.
That's
And
excellent.
they
And it's
really are
Tas.
beautiful.
They really are beautiful. And was it done by yourself? Are they artwork
No,
or
no,
no?
we got proper people in to do that.
Right. Right.
Uh, but I will be signing them though.
Yes,
Yeah.
so they'll definitely be collector's items as well. So get yourself over there to
Yeah.
tasminarcher.com. And it's, of course, a one-stop shop, because you can also, get yourself in there and buy Tasmin's music as well. And like
Mhm.
Tasmin mentioned there, her brand new album as well, and the single Vibration of Life. Now, on
Mhm.
another note, Tasmin, you didn't expect this question, but the
Yeah.
vinyl revival is here. So I must
Yeah.
ask you, what was the
Mhm.
first vinyl record you ever bought, and which record and track would you play me if you had a record player beside you right now and go, Phil,
Oh,
this is my favorite ever song on vinyl?
right, my oh gosh. I got favorite. Terrible is I never be able to get favorites. My first one that I bought vinyl was a single, and it
Right.
was I think it was Message in a Bottle by the Police. That's
Excellent
what I
choice.
bought.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
That's what I bought. That's my own out of my own pocket money. That's what I bought. Or my own money
Excellent.
anyway. And
Great.
I don't know which one's on vinyl would be my favourites, or one that I could choose to say I would play now. I think I'd I think I'd play something by Joe Stafford.
Right.
Because it's
Yeah.
going full circle for me, and I
Yeah.
think it would be Tumbling Tumbleweeds. I think that's what I'd play right now, definitely.
Excellent. Excellent. They're great choices there, and they're different choices from everyone else. So that's really, really good. Thank you very much, Tasmin. now, now, will you be releasing any of your music on vinyl? Because I hear a little Dicky Bird said, "Oh, I think I've got a Tasmin's going to be releasing a vinyl, and maybe one may be signed to Phil Wilson, maybe for his vinyl revival radio show."
I'll have to get on to John about that, but
I
I will
thought I'd
tell
get
him.
on to
Yeah,
that.
I will tell him. Yes, the vinyls are available. The album vinyls will be available in September when the
Yeah,
album's released. And yes, we've got the vinyls. We've got vinyl of the album.
excellent.
Yeah, so you can go on and pre-save that on our website if you would like one.
Yeah,
Um, all the what they call them, the masters. You
yes,
get a
yes,
master of one of them. They
yeah,
went in just
yeah.
no time. I think there was like 3 or 4 of those, and just went. So
Wow, yes, have you got them on cassette and things like that and
no, no,
CD?
no
No,
cassette, no
no
cassette,
cassette
just
yet.
vinyl, CD, and then the streaming. Of course, you can stream Vibrational Life on Spotify or any of the other places that you want to go and stream it. And the single video for the single is on YouTube, so go check that out.
Yes,
And there's
and it's
also
doing well.
yeah, and the video we did a video for just the lyrics
Right,
as
yes.
well. Go with that
Fab.
to go with the single. So if anybody's interested in reading the lyrics while they want to sing along or something like that,
Exactly. Yes, yes, that's really
who
good.
knows? Who
We'll
knows?
love
Who
it.
knows?
We'll
But
love it.
that's on our channel on YouTube as well. Um, and I think we've got t-shirts as well on our website,
Right.
and you can go
Lovely.
on there and you can go and either I think you can actually buy one of those on there now, but
Right,
they
right.
do
See, I
we
said
do
one-stop
bundles.
shop.
We do bundles. We do t-shirt, the CD, and the vinyl. Or
Wow.
you can just do the t-shirt, I think, and the vinyl and the CD. Or you can
Yeah.
just buy a t-shirt. And they're pretty cool. They're nice t-shirts. Good
Yes,
quality.
yes. Very good quality they are. Yes. Nothing but the best from Tasmin Archer. You can hear by
I'll
our
do my best.
music. You know, the merchandise is definitely going to be top notch. I know that for sure. Now, now
I'm now
Tasmin
put
is.
pressure.
Hi, definitely. Yeah, get yourself along to tasminarcher.com there for all of the merchandise and music. Now,
Yeah.
are you all right sticking around for a moment? Because we've actually run out of time. But
Uh-huh.
finally, please could I just say thank you so much for joining me on the show. It's been such a privilege speaking to you, Tasmin. And would you like to come on the show again? Have I frightened you away?
No, I'll come on again.
You're right.
I'll come on again.
Fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. Well, finally, Tasmin, just stick
Hmm.
around a bit. We'll have a chat afterwards. And please,
Yeah.
could you now introduce your latest single, Vibration of Life, taken from your amazing brand new album, A Cauldron of Random Notes?
Yes, I'm Tasmin Archer, and this is my new single, and it's out. It's called Vibration of Life. Go check it out.
Thank you so much, Tasmin. Thank you so much for joining me on the show, and all the very best. And I hope to catch up with you again soon.
Me too. Thank you very much, Phil.